Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having a great Sunday. Whether it's the beginning or the end, you're sleeping right now. If you're sleeping right now, you can't hear me, but I still hope you have a great day because I'm a good person like that. I just wish good days to people all the time. That's all I do with all my time, sit here and wish you good days. It's not true. Sometimes I'm like, I hope that asshole steps on a Lego. Anyhow, good day today, hopefully. Couple of things to go over. Where do we want to start? I kind of want to save that story. Yeah, I'll save that for a little bit later. First, we're going to talk about the body cam footage. Body cam footage came out, guys. I'm going to throw this link in chat. And I will warn you, this is a disturbing video. Somebody gets shot in this video. So don't go watch it if that kind of stuff bothers you. There was a case that came up the other day, a shooting, police shooting, where this girl was shot and she had a toy gun. The toy gun is supposed to have a little orange tip on it. You guys have seen those before. It didn't have that on it. It actually just looked like a regular pistol. And there was like, oh, what happened? What happened? Did the police shoot a woman without cause? No, they had cause. This woman rams a police car. The police get out. They got their guns drawn because this woman had purposefully hit him. Cop comes around the side of her car and she's pointing a gun at him. Now it turns out to be a toy gun, but he didn't know that and he put her down, unfortunately. So it was another one of those cases where it's like, what? Did the police do something wrong? No. I don't know. I don't know if she was trying suicide by cop or what, but she had a gun. Yeah, it was fake, but it looked real as hell. Here's a tip for you. Don't point any kind of gun at a cop. It's really, really not a good idea. But I wanted to bring that one up because it puts to rest that story. And man, I feel bad for the parents in that situation because they were worried about her. And then, of course, they were like, well, what happened? And Reno says the police are always up to no good. Never trust them. They're allies to the commies. Maybe. Maybe if you want to take that, that's fine. Take that view. But in this case, they did nothing wrong. What about finger guns? I wouldn't recommend that, especially in the dark. Manhattan is sitting there in the dark. They've had a bunch of power outages throughout New York today. And there was a great article that we read earlier about people filming it, just filming how dark it is. That's the world we live in now. Good morning, Nuts and Prospero and everybody else. Yes, I do give deference to women. Sorry, men. But yeah, so if you're in New York, you're probably not able to hear this because it's dark and you have no power. Yay. What else is going on here? Well, I guess we're going to get to the big story because those were two short stories that I had. Well, we can go over this part too real quick. The other day we talked about I shield the show. Thank you, Gray. Assassin of the Gray. I appreciate it. Anybody, yes, if you'd hit the like button, share, or if you can donate, that is always appreciated. You can also buy yourself something nice. There's some t-shirts down below. I need to get new ones up. But we talked yesterday about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's bad day and how she was questioning former ICE chair, or not chairman, what's the word? Chief, the head of ICE, about his about the no tolerance policy at the border and how he lit her ass up. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm all right. How are you?
Oh, God. Went swimming today.
Oh, so you're going to be sore for about a week.
Yes. That's okay. I'll go swimming again on Wednesday. So anyway, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Yeah, the director of ICE, Homan. I don't know his first name, but Director Homan. Oh, Thomas. There it is. Thomas Homan. He was questioned by a lot of these assholes up on the Hill, and one of them was Representative Garcia. who actually had the balls to say to former director Homan that he didn't care about the kids coming across and dying because, quote, they don't look like your kids. And Homan lost his shit. He's
Rightfully
like,
so.
right. Yeah. He's like, you are not going to disparage. He actually asked him, have you ever held a deceased child in your arms? Now, for those of you who don't know, Director Homan used to be a police officer in New York City. So the chances of him not having held a dead child is pretty slim. And not because, there's shootings and stuff like that, but they also come to different emergencies. Police show up too.
Yeah, often they're the first ones on scene, especially for car accidents, that sort of thing.
Plus, he's worked the border for a long time, and he's seen a lot of dead kids down there, and he lost his shit. And it's a great moment. And Scribbles had shared it out, and I hadn't seen it yesterday, but somebody goes, "Did you see this?" And I'm like, "No." I know there was a whole bunch, and I'll eventually go through and watch the whole hearing. But if you'd like to see that part, he lights Garcia up. He gets mad, and as you said, rightfully so. Now, okay, there's our 3 little stories out of the way. Here's the big story of the night, and my favorite, and it is so good that this happened. It is rare that we get an outcome in these stories that I like. Goodyear teacher who molested student sentenced to 20 years.
Oh, this was a dude?
No.
What?
That was my thought too. No. This is an old friend of the show. Somebody we've talked about many times.
Russian Deadpool?
No, he gets sentenced in September.
Oh.
Does she look familiar?
Yes, she does.
This is Brittany Zamora. We've talked about her a lot. She's the one that, she had sex with a 13-year-old boy. A 13-year-old boy. Former West Valley teacher who pleaded guilty to having a sexual relationship with a 13-year-old student was sentenced Friday to 20 years in prison. The judge gave Brittany Zamora the minimum sentence she faced, of course, while the state prosecutor called for her to serve 27 years. Today's sentencing is fitting for an individual who exploited her position as a teacher to groom and then abuse a teen student, Maricopa County Attorney Bill Montgomery said in a press release. Prosecutors and law enforcement will continue to be relentless in making Arizona the most unwelcome place for child sexual predators. I like the way they put that.
Yeah, good for them.
Like, this is going to be the most unwelcome place for you. And they said that about a chick. Now, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say it's almost unheard of.
Mm-hmm. But you did notice the judge gave her the minimum possible.
Of course.
Like, I'd give you less, but it'd be illegal. But good on them. They sentenced her to 20 years in prison. Now, for those of you who don't know Mrs. Zamora, we've been following her I pretty much since this case broke. I don't know if this show was around when that happened, but we've been talking about it on this show pretty much since the beginning of this show. She got busted, banging a 13-year-old, and sending him sexy pictures, and I can't remember. I know they did shit in her car and at her house, and then her husband, right? Because she had a husband, actually went to the mom of the kid that she had sex with, and asked her to please not press charges.
Yeah, we did talk about that on here.
Uh-huh.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was this chick. Okay.
That was, yeah. She's, like I said, we've talked about her a few times because she's a dirty bitch, a dirty, nasty bitch. And let's see. I want to find the picture of her and her husband together because it's so beautiful. Here it is. Here it is. This is the happy couple. And I've said all along, I cannot imagine what it's like to be that guy. Look how happy they are. Look how happy they are.
He's doing the Soylent grin. So whenever you see that face on a guy anymore, it might as well just say, "Hi, I'm Cuckleberry Finn."
His wife Went to a 13-year-old.
Yeah, she's not that bad looking, really.
Went to a 13-year-old for sex.
That's got to be so humiliating as a man.
That's got to be emasculating as fuck. Look at her. Also, look at her. Sad. That's not sad. That's oh shit. I got something in my eye. Ain't no tears coming down on this side. Come on, stop it. You know what you did. So yeah, she's getting 20 years in prison for that, man.
That's so surprising to me.
I know, right? Nobody was expecting that. Nobody was expecting this bitch to end up with that much time because, well, women never get that much time. If you remember going back to the first big story about this, that what was that bitch's name?
Mary Kay Letourneau?
Mary Kay Letourneau. She didn't even serve that much time. And
she got out and had sex with him again. Got pregnant and then went back to jail.
Yes.
And they would have dropped that case too if she, the first time. But there's the prosecutors really pushed to have that go through. But man, women can get away with diddling kids. It's not considered rape because women can't rape. They can only sexually assault.
Whiskey Theorizes, thank you so much. Thoughts on King of Leon? They play real music too. I am not familiar.
I think I've heard one song of them like once a long time ago.
I'm assuming that's from a callback to yesterday's show where I said I like Nickelback because they actually play their instruments.
Probably.
If I've heard that, look, you guys have to understand, I am not real good with the names of bands and stuff. I'm about as good with them as I am the name of actors. So if you watch the show, I've probably heard them, Whiskey, but I'll have to check it out to make sure I remember. But yeah, Miss Letourneau there. You know what the most disgusting thing about that whole thing was to me? As bad as it was of this, because what was he, 14? In that case? Like that. Yeah, they had 3 kids together last I heard, and they were living together. People magazine actually did a cover story on them.
Oh, about how romantic it was.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, they compared it to like Romeo and Juliet and shit.
Yes, like exactly. And I read that shit. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Times we live in, man. It's been going downhill for 20 years.
This is a bitch who raped a little boy, basically.
Women can't do that.
I wonder if they're still together.
Last I heard they were. But...
Yeah, no, and because he's getting close to his 20s and stuff.
He's got to be getting close to 30 by now. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, let's see. I wonder if there's spouses. According to this, they're still married. Have been since 2005. Aww. Isn't that such a sweet story? She raped a little boy and got to marry him. That's beautiful.
So fucked up.
Terry Demonis, thank you so much. There's a band called Bon Jovi you should check out. If you're bad at band names, I might be able to claim credit for introducing you to them. I'm well aware of Bon Jovi. Thank you so much. New Jersey, I still say, is one of the best complete albums ever made. There's one song on there that I kind of get annoyed by when it comes on and I just skip. But the rest of them, New Jersey's such a great album. So yeah, did you notice the title of the stream? Heretic of the Divine Feminine. I stole your line from yesterday, Jack.
That's okay. It was a great line.
It really was, and I felt like it needed to be immortalized.
I am supposed to bitch slap you for your bullshit. I walked away for a second, so I don't really know what your bullshit was. So there we go.
You're supposed to bitch slap me?
Yeah, that's what Hypnotic said.
What bullshit?
I don't know. I was wandered off for a minute. I had to kill an ant.
I'm not sure what bullshit it was.
Oh, fuck Bon Jovi. They completely fucked their bass player. That might be what it is.
You'd have to get. I don't know the story there. I know John basically kicked Richie out of the group for a while because Richie wasn't willing to work as hard as John wanted him to.
That's normal band stuff,
Right.
People get their egos in the way, or you always got one person that doesn't want to pull their weight, or the controlling person. It's like any group project.
I'm trying to remember if we talked about the
I'm gonna
kept.
murder this ant. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you go kill your aunt. Did we talk about the guys at the border who were so clean, even though supposedly they hadn't had a shower in 10 days? Cannot remember if we talked about that last night or not. It was 20 hours ago, so maybe.
Sorry, I don't trust anything with more than 4 legs.
Jack, when we were on here last night, did we talk about the guys at the border who you got a BET ad? That is beautiful, Circus.
Yeah, there was a BET ad when I launched it so I could pop chat out.
Nice. Look, I used to watch BET because it was a great place to watch rap videos, because MTV only had Yo MTV raps now and then.
That's because rap music sucks.
Shut up. Did we talk about the guys at the border who hadn't had showers in a week's 10 to 20 days?
I don't remember talking about that. That's disgusting.
Okay. I'm gonna I didn't think we had. I think I was talking about it on Bear's program. There we go. So there's the video if you guys want to watch it, but I'm gonna bring up this picture and the tweet itself, because this goes somewhere, guys. First, we're gonna look at it. Right? It says 384 men sleeping inside fences on concrete with no pillows or mats. They said they hadn't showered for weeks. Many hadn't for 10 to 20 days. Wanted toothbrushes and food. Stench was overwhelming. This is not okay. These are human beings. Our brothers. Retweet. Now, I want to show you something. I don't know how well you can see it, but you see this guy right here?
Yeah.
You see his facial hair?
Yeah, that dude's like 25.
Do you notice how neatly trimmed it is?
Yeah.
This guy, he doesn't have a wild beard growing. This guy doesn't have a wild 10-day beard growing. None of them do. They're all very cleanly shaven. And if you watch the video, you'll notice all of their clothes seem very clean. None of their faces are dirty. None of their hair is greasy. It's amazing how well cleaned they are for how dirty they should be.
Yeah, they don't look like 3-week hobos. They look like they're fairly well groomed. They might not have showered for 3 or 4 days, but I've been to comic conventions with a greater stench, I'm quite certain.
Now, the video is kind of playing on here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. How well you can see it. It looks a little choppy on my screen, but this is where we wanted to get to. Okay, you see this? This is from Mike Pence visiting the detention center yesterday. This is Mike Pence right here. You can't really see his face the way he's turned there. But I wanted to show you that, so I can show you this. And we'll just keep up there who tweeted it, the dirty bitch.
Oh, fuck you. No. That is total bullshit.
I love your reaction, because my reaction, and this is what I tweeted, was, oh, fuck off.
See, man, great minds. This is insanely ridiculous. These are not comparable situations. The people in the concentration camps in Germany did not wander into Germany looking for free shit. This is insulting. Sorry.
Assassin of the Gray says, they claim they had not showered for weeks, and these guys have done personal hygiene in the past 2 days. At least in the past 2 days. Yeah, those guys were not those were not guys who hadn't seen a shower or a shave in weeks. It's nonsense. It was lies, is what that is.
Yeah, they would look like Pigpen with little stink lines coming off them.
Yep.
They would look dirty. I mean, anybody that's been in a big city with a lot of homeless people has seen people that haven't showered in weeks. And they do not look like those guys.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed at the top here, Alyssa Milano tweeted that out. Who
And
runs
she could go fuck herself.
the Sorry Not Sorry podcast? Fuck you, bitch. Yeah, that is fucking offensive, is what that is.
Yeah, it's completely disingenuous and it's insulting to the vice president. Which, say what you will about Pence, man, he is nothing like Goebbels.
No. And Whiskey, thank you so much. I'll DM you a video called Beautiful War. It's like a small country movie. I'm paying you for your thoughts, so make a post. Make a post-it note if you could, please. Are you DMing it to me over on Twitter? I will just make sure I don't touch the DM from you, and then I'll see it. Sorry. I saw that today, and yeah, that was my. Oh, fuck you.
Yeah,
are you serious?
If Pence was actually like a Nazi, for the posting that, she would be disappeared.
Yeah, she would be. The first picture, a lot of people online have mistaken that for a concentration camp. That was a prisoner of war camp. That was a prisoner camp. And no, they weren't much different.
Oh, the guy's still got his hat on. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That is a prisoner of war camp.
Well, the political prisoners aren't treated much differently in actual totalitarian regimes. So,
well, if you look at that guy, and let me bring that picture back up. Not that I enjoy seeing it, but if you look at this guy, you'll notice as a prisoner of war, he was not fed. You can see his ribs quite clearly. He's emaciated, is what he is.
Yeah.
Did any of those Mexicans, Ecuadorians, Guatemalans, who else? Anybody from south of the border? Any of them look emaciated to you?
No, those criminals all look like they've eaten pretty well recently. So, such bullshit. You know, if they want, we can actually, if they keep turning down these appropriation bills for funding, they'll eventually start looking like that because we won't be able to feed them all.
Yeah. The other thing is when you go back, let me bring it up one more time. I can't believe I'm doing this because fuck you, Alyssa. Alyssa, I'd love to dick you, but Jesus Christ, you're a dumb bitch. These guys in this top picture, none of them went willingly into this cage. None of them said, hey, where's the closest German prisoner of war camp that I can get into? These people purposefully came here. And any one of them, when they want to turn their happy ass around and go home, can.
Yep.
These guys couldn't. These guys, it wasn't a choice for them.
Yeah, Jacob even said it really well in chat. The guy on the left has an Adidas sweatshirt and meat on his bones. I wonder who's being treated better.
Right. Oh man, that one pissed me off when I saw that. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I really think these disingenuous statements comparing them to the Nazi camps are really going to backfire in their face with the public.
I just don't think they're understanding how fucking stupid they're being. They're running with this when the initial reaction should have told them, ooh, maybe we should have backed off this stupid shit.
Yeah, you want to say people need better treatment, that's one thing, but you can't just unleash a bunch of unchecked people through the border without any kind of controls. That's how you're going to get massive pandemics and crime waves.
Johnny says, I used to love her, but what a skank for the comparison. They came freely and could turn south freely. Rawr.
Yep.
When I think of Alyssa Milano, I think there used to be this chick that I worked with at Walmart. Me and her were friends. We got along fine, but she was a cunt, man. A straight up cunt. And she was mean to everybody. She was always pretty nice to me, and I don't know why. But yeah, she was a real cunt. And one of the vendors, the guy who worked for Pepsi one time, he goes, man, I hate her, but I'd love to see her boobs. And like, that's how I feel about Alyssa Milano. Like, I hate her. I like to see her boobs, but I've seen her boobs, and Jesus Christ, she got those cupcake titties. Anyhow, Jesus Christ, they're living better than some of the homeless in Cali. All of the homeless in Cali, they're living better than all of them.
And California bums are some of the fattest bums around because they get a lot of free shit from the government. Still sucks being homeless, but if you're going to be a bum, go out west. It's the best place to be homeless.
Mr. Scott says she wanted the monkey. No, she really didn't. I was definitely not her type. She liked pretty boys. I'm not pretty boy. I'm rugged, man.
Sorry, Evolved Potato. I wasn't watching chat. Thank you, Evolved Potato, on the Streamlabs. Your donation is greatly appreciated. Monkey, if you know any heresy, inform your local Eklarasarchy priest to bring the Emperor's justice to them.
Well,
always report heresy, kids.
Well, let's talk about some of that divine feminism, shall we?
First, let me respond to Johnny Sacco in chat there. He said, "We aren't all bums, you bastard." No, you're not. But the problem is that if you're going to be a bum, it's much better to be on the beach being a bum.
Yeah.
If you're homeless and you're trying to work out of the situation, you're not a bum. You're just in a temporary bad spot. And that's different. That's the type of people we want to help. We don't want to help freeloaders and worthless tramps that just go around getting free shit all the time. Nobody likes them. And other homeless people hate them too. So, yeah, I'm not specifically singling out every single homeless person, just the bums. Sorry, I wanted to clarify that.
No, that's fine, man. That's fine. I understand. I read something from Kamala Harris today that just made me shake my fucking head. And we're going to read it here together. Women's access to reproductive health care is under attack. We've seen it in Alabama, where the legislature passed a law to incarcerate a physician for up to 99 years. I'm not being dramatic. Women will die because of these policies.
I think you're being dramatic. Like, maybe a little.
I'm not being dramatic. Women will die.
You're not being dramatic. You're being hyperbolic, you cunt.
Yeah, you're being stupid. You're being stupid. Here's what you do, Kamala. You explain to women that they have a mouth, a butthole, and the right to say no. Because those things will help keep from getting pregnant. It is very... Look, I realize the womb is in the abdomen, but if you swallow the sperm, it's not going to get in there. You'll be fine. If you take it rectally, not going to get in there unless you wipe wrong, right?
That's correct.
That's just science. For once, I'm being serious. That's just science. You also have access to all kinds of birth control, tons of it, all kinds of things you can do, including saying no.
Yeah, abstinence is a guaranteed non-pregnancy thing.
It is. Believe it or not, you cannot get pregnant on a toilet seat. It bothers me a lot that, they have this big push. They're taking away women's reproductive rights. And none of them are out there going, look, ladies, since this is happening, maybe you should be careful with your pussy. Maybe you should put a stop sign on your uterus to keep from getting pregnant so you don't have to worry about this.
Maybe be a little more selective with who you're sleeping with. Yeah. So you think, hey, do I want to raise a kid with this person? Do I want to get pregnant by this person? Am I willing to commit to anything with this person? Will this person give me money for the abortion?
Right. I mean, if you're so worried that you're not going to be able to get an abortion, try not getting pregnant. I know,
such a concept.
I know it's heresy to coin a term. But yeah, I mean, if you are that worried about it, you really should be pushed. This is why one of the reasons I'm against abortion. As a society, we should be past it. We should be past it. There should be no reason for it. We are the most advanced civilization ever. We know how pregnancy happens. We know how to prevent it. not suck it out with a vacuum after. Stop it. Ex-Bubba Hotep, thank you. Being responsible for myself, that sounds like patriarchy. It is. It's the first thing they teach us in patriarchy school. But instead, we're back to women can't be responsible for what they do with their pussies. They just turn up pregnant.
Yeah, teaching women not to take any responsibility for their actions is incredibly dangerous and stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And it just leads to more problems.
I hate it. It was just said there in chat. Good joke, Monkey. Women aren't responsible at all. They're fully grown children. A lot of them are. And again,
we've created that system.
Hashtag not all. We have some very, very good women in our chat here. Oh, shit. Just hit my thing. Lady Monkey sure as hell doesn't qualify as these fucking women.
No, but we've been telling women that they're not responsible for their actions for decades.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to sink into a large population of them eventually, just through repetition. And the more we teach people that and enable this kind of dependency on the government and laziness, the more you can expect these kind of results. And the more people expect to be coddled and treated like children.
Thank you, Zach.
Pathetic. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Zach Osborne, over on the Streamlabs. Abortion should be reserved only if the mother is in imminent danger of death or if the infant is a fucking elephant man. I wouldn't have a problem if every time, what about the life of a mother? And it's like, Ben Shapiro made this argument the best. They're like, well, what about the life of a mother? And he's going, are you suggesting that that's the only time abortion should be allowed? And he goes like, no. He goes, then why are you making that argument? You don't believe in that argument. That is a facetious argument. What you're trying to go to argue for the life of a mother, but what you're really after is I met a dude I thought was cute and banged him in the bathroom and got pregnant. I'm perfectly happy to have the argument about just the life of a mother. Sure, that makes sense. All right. It's the rest of it. The other bullshit that you want. Life of a mother doesn't mean, I can have an abortion tomorrow because it's Sunday. Well, Monday, because we're on Sunday right now. I mentioned this on Lords of the Night, and I'm bringing it up again because it's just funny. Jack, AOC finally got somebody to come with her on the whole Nancy Pelosi is racist thing.
Oh, yeah? Was it Daily Stormer?
No, close. It was BuzzFeed. The headline is just nuts. Progressive activists have had it with House Democrats fight with AOC and other women of color. They're not just for votes. For many of us, they're the physical manifestation of generations of blood, sweat, and tears for representation in Congress.
Oh my God. The hyperbolic nature of these articles is just ridiculous. These people do not understand what blood, sweat, and tears are because they've never had real jobs. I guarantee you none of these people has ever done hard labor once in their life.
Well, it's amazing to me because this is the women of color are the physical manifestation of representation in Congress. The person who wrote this is a black man.
Yeah, and I bet he's not old enough to be alive for Jim Crow or when things actually were scary.
He's not a woman.
Well, that doesn't you don't know that. He hasn't said how he identifies. What are his pronouns, Monkey?
Oh, well, you got me there.
Uh-huh. See, circular logic. They're never wrong because they think like crazy people.
Hi, Jen. How you doing, sweetheart? I do want to point out Prospero and Stargazer have been dropping our links for us.
Thank you, ladies.
I'm going to the store tomorrow to get ramen, so if you want to be generous, tonight's the night to do it. Well, you can do it any night, but it will help me get ramen tomorrow. Oh, God, man. I also need hot dogs and bologna and bread. I'm low on all of those things. Oh, and soda.
I need a haircut.
Lady Monkey cut my hair for me. Lady Monkey usually cuts my hair for me. And she did it a month ago now, and I have her cut it real short, not like bald short, but real short, so that I can usually go 2 months without getting another haircut. This is something I didn't see anybody else talk about, and I'm not going to read the whole story, but I'll throw the story in chat if anybody wants to read it. I found it disturbing, and I'm going to read the headline, and Jack, tell me if you can see why. How 6 Florida newsrooms are working together to strengthen climate change coverage.
Oh, so they're colluding to lie to us about climate change. Awesome.
Ding, ding, ding. Thank you. This is why I like you, Jack. You pick up on the same shit that I do. And I don't feel so alone. It is not a good thing for newscasts to all be getting together to brainwash people.
Yeah, they don't see a problem with it, though, because they say, well, we're just all going to cover it. No, you're all going to push the same agenda.
Yep.
That is very, very different.
Can you imagine this with anything else? Can you imagine what the response would be if it was 6 newsrooms? Oh, well, we saw that thing with I forget the conglomerate there that got together, and they pretty much all had the same news release, and everybody's like, oh my god, they all talk the same. Over on Streamlabs, thank you so much, Zach. Again, you want to know what blood, sweat, and tears look like? Try being a coal miner today with the DEP threatening to shut you down because a fucking water pond's pH isn't high enough.
Yep.
That they didn't care about 6 months ago because reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, they look for any reason to shut coal mines down. I feel bad for any coal miner because that is dangerous, hard work.
Yes.
They're busting their ass to keep us energy independent from the Middle East, which people keep saying they want, and they get nothing but shit on by the government randomly, just like he said. I mean, I live in Ohio. Southern Ohio used to be booming because we used to have a lot of coal mines, especially down by Vinton County, by where the Moonville Tunnel is. That used to be thriving. Now it's complete wasteland, desolate, empty buildings. It's a complete disaster, and it's all because they do this random shit where they just, no, we don't like this, so we're gonna shut it down. Give you absurd regulations.
There was a and one with coal miners, I agree. I agree 100%, and especially with the hard work part. Most people couldn't do that job. We are too spoiled as Americans.
Yeah.
We'd be like, fuck that. Let me go work at Walmart.
I have never met a pussy coal miner.
No.
Or boiler maker. You want to fuck with someone and get your ass handed to you? Pick one of them.
Yeah. But I saw a story the other day. I forget exactly what it was, but there was a community and golf course that were approved, and they're like, well, the EPA pushed it through too fast, or somebody pushed it through too fast, and there's a whole bunch of environmental groups who say it might displace a couple of endangered species in a fucking desert.
Yeah. Well, you remember the California regulations on water because of some little trout thing?
Yeah.
It was like, so I don't care if that thing goes extinct. What is that really accomplishing to the ecology? What is that adding? Nothing. Species go extinct for various reasons all the time. It's not like the farmers are polluting. I'm sick of this shit, man. It's getting insane.
I've said this before. For me, the first time I heard the term wetlands, I was like, what the fuck is a wetland? And this one goes, it's a swamp. I'm like, oh, a swamp. Yeah, I understand now.
Or a mud puddle.
Yeah.
There was a farmer by where I grew up that got 3 or 4 acres of his property seized because there was quite literally a mud puddle. But he had pissed off the local EPA guy, and the EPA guy decided that's a wetland now. That's how much authority these assholes have.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, he just lost the entire acreage, and they paid him something like pennies on the dollar for what it's worth because they're the government and they can do that. They just eminent domain it and toss you a handful of dollars, and say that's what we value it at.
Yep. And it's nonsense. It is absolute nonsense. It is government run amok.
Yep. The EPA is basically uncontrolled, and nobody wants to rein them in. They will fuck you over for the sake of it.
They need to be disbanded. And I quite like that Trump is giving them a bunch of shit. Jared Hart Norris, thank you. Just finished yesterday's Monkey in the Morning. Now here's more. You boys make up half my day and make work more enjoyable. Oh, I'm glad we do. And thank you so much for that compliment. And thanks for watching. Martin says Onision destroyed his wetland and paid for it. Well, no. He destroyed somebody else's wetland and paid for it. We'll get to that in just a second. Let me get this donation over on the Streamlabs. Thank you so much. Lonesome One. If hell is real, AOC is headed there, riding on a glitter farting torpedo so she can blow Che Guevara. Kudos to you, Monkey. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, she's a treat. Yeah, as for Onision, what he did was he pushed the trimmings from his own yard. There was wood that he'd cut down, or trees that he'd cut down, and brush and all that, and he pushed it into someone else's wetland. Oops. Yeah, so oops.
What an idiot.
Yeah. And he's like, somebody told me I could. It's not how it works. Oh wow, Jordan is already on the ass crack team over here on MITAM, hashtag MITAM over on the Twitter machine. Whew boy.
Yeah, your ass crack team is always on the case.
They are indeed, and he's got some with curves. These ones are for me, Jack. These are not for you.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, these ones are for. Oh, damn.
Yeah, Evolved Potato and Evil One take good care of me on there, so
they do great. Dangerous Spaces says, I'm confused. Is that a euphemism? Which part? And RJ says, Onision is an utter moron. He really is. Onision is a case study in somebody who got really, really popular basically for no reason. And I don't mean that mean. He was a YouTube jackass knockoff. He humped the ground. He put on a banana suit and screamed and threw paint all over himself and screamed. There wasn't much to his content. And when people started noticing that, when YouTube actually started exploding with real creators, and I'm not counting myself, I'm talking about people who actually put production value into their stuff. He became why are we watching him? And he is just a slow burn to nothingness, and it's wow.
Yeah, he's sort of a flash in the pan that took a long time to extinguish itself.
Yeah. Zach, thank you so much. The EPA, the Game Commission, don't get me started on the PA Game Commission. They can trespass on any property they want, no warrant, and they can write anyone up for any amount of fine for any infraction they can think of. Everyone hates them. Fuck them. Oh.
Yeah, that sounds completely unconstitutional, but...
Yep, but it sounds like government.
Yep, they'll do it until they get sued into oblivion, and you better be rich to go up against the government. And
you're still going to lose.
Yep.
I can't think of too many cases where somebody's challenged this shit. Dude, what is with those pictures? And whoa, Potato, my friend. Wow. The camel toe. Don't forget these assholes fed agencies have armed divisions to boot. Oh, yeah. Talking about like the EPA and shit. Aren't they the ones that for some reason had like a whole shit ton of arms sent to them?
Yeah.
Or stored up? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of speculation about that on the conspiracy sites, but like the Department of Education has a SWAT team.
Yeah.
Why? No one knows. But they have all this surplus military stuff from Afghanistan and the Iraq War. It's got to go somewhere. So they just started kind of forming their own armed divisions so they could get it for free.
That camel toe picture's thrown me off my game, man. Have you checked it out? Potato got you some Asians on there in that first one. Woof.
Yeah, Potato's good to me. He spoils me on there.
Woof. She's got a little weird ridge at the top there. I don't know what that is. Hopefully it's not a herpes sore. But the rest of it is very nice. Very nice. The problem is with the persistence we set prior to regulation. We wiped out as many species in a very short order and nearly wiped out others. Here's I mean, George Carlin used to talk about this. Like 99% of all species that have ever lived are gone. All of them. Dinosaurs are gone. Man didn't do that. There's a shit ton of men. Do we sometimes go in and wipe out species? Sure. Should we try not to do that? Absolutely. Should we not allow the building of houses because there's a tiny fucking frog nobody cares about? Nope. Fuck that frog. Johnny Hellcat, thank you. Someone found a small chunk of gold on a claim and BLM set in and leveled where the river flowed.
Bureau of Land Management.
Oh, okay. I'm like, Black Lives Matter. What the fuck did they do? Okay, so Bureau of Land Management set in and leveled where, yeah, sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Hellcat, thank you. Around my dad's claim, should have said that. Oh, was your dad? Oh, fuck, man.
I'd be pissed.
So would I. But, you know, that's the government. See, I don't want to be I don't want to sound like an anarchist because I'm not. I believe in government. I believe there's times we need it. I absolutely do. Defense is great. Yes, and I know libertarians don't like it. Roads, awesome. Saw somebody argue, well, we just have private roads. You ever seen private roads?
Yeah, they're awful, and people tend to charge you money to go on them.
Yep, and the upkeep is horrific if there's any upkeep at all.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with certain things. Schools, I have no problem with public schools. My problem with public schools comes in the curriculum, not the fact that we have them.
Yep. I'd prefer to have like the night watchman state where government mainly handles defense, and that's really largely it. A few regulations here and there, but that's about it. The government should be about a tenth the size that it is.
Yeah. And the vast majority of them should not have any fucking guns.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it. Gabriel Swift says climate change is a hoax to rape the wealth from the West, go after China, Asia, Africa. I believe it's a hoax. And the reason I believe it's a hoax is because when I ask for proof, I'm usually given nonsense. Wow.
Yeah, it's become a religious dogma. If you look back at the prehistoric record, back before humans walked the earth, the area around Chicago used to be a rainforest.
Yeah. Well, there was a story, it's probably a few years ago back now, where they found the remains of tropical fish in the Arctic.
Yeah.
And that doesn't tropical fish, their bodies are not just going to flow there in the water. That had been eaten, but before they could get there, they used to live there. I don't think it's to rob the wealth of the West. I think it's to, at least what I've seen, it's been to, how do I want to say this? I believe with the theory that it's to push us towards communism. I really do.
Yeah.
Jared, oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, they treat it like a religion.
They do. Jared, thank you. Elon can't get his underground highway system approved because California is worried it might disturb worms or some bullshit. I am with Elon's thing. I would be very worried having that because, and they've already got it set up. They have a short one set up, but I would be worried because it's California and the earthquakes there. And I'm sure they would do something to try to mitigate that, but my ass wouldn't go in one of those.
I'd prefer not to in California.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with doing it somewhere else. You know, not in earthquakes zone. Like,
right.
Same reason you can't put that in Tennessee because of the new Madrid fault line. you'd have the same problem. So you want to do that in like Wyoming? Yeah, do it, man.
Dangerous Spaces says AOC's chief of staff literally said the Green New Deal was not about climate change. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, because that's about seizing power.
It is. That's what it's all about, is taking control of everything so they can tell you what you can and cannot do. Because America has flat rejected communism, and they hate that.
Oh yeah.
How dare you? We were supposed to grab onto that years and years ago. And oh man, AOC is so bad for the country. She really is. I know Polly doesn't like talking about her, but it's not just her. She is a bellwether.
Yeah.
She is a sign of things to come. And it actually started with Bernie. Bernie running and everybody, the Bernie bros, socialism. Shut the absolute fuck up, you dumb motherfuckers. You have no idea what you're asking for. No clue, you spoiled little shits.
Yeah, because they all think they're going to be in the higher echelons because they're so smart. No, if you're not lined up against the wall like most intellectuals tend to be in communism, you're going to be a dirt poor peasant just like the rest of us waiting 4 hours in a bread line. Look at how fast Venezuela devolved.
Well, no, man, that was just because the West kept them down, yo.
Yeah, they keep saying that. Eventually, that excuse wears thin because we don't have enough influence to disrupt every single communist country.
Right. The problem is communism itself is bad. And until
it's a massively flawed system.
But no, man, that's what's being pushed. And yes, climate change, there's a good reason they push that. You know why? It scares the absolute fuck out of people. They're running around telling you the sky is falling.
Yeah.
The sky is falling.
Doomsday cults have been around forever. This is no different. They've taken it and pulled the Jesus out and inserted Gaia, for lack of a better way of saying it. So now it's dirt worship, the same way the many pagan cults would do it, and they're added on all the trappings of a doomsday cult, so that they can get the social and secular and religious aspects all in one bundle, and it appeals to humans on a very visceral level. Then it's an incredibly dangerous and well thought out theology that's been crafted over the years.
The times that they've told us we've hit the point of no return. And I know we've talked about this before, guys, but I gotta laugh. Zach Osborne, thank you. He said, "How about this monkey?" And he gave me a Twitter link. Let me see. And I'll get back to what I was saying there in just a second.
In the meantime, I like pudding.
I like pudding. Let's see. A man is being sent to prison for reporting on Islamic grooming rape gangs, and this guy is dancing about it. Autistic and gay, huh? Lib Dem, huh? Sounds about right. Let's see. What is this guy? Couldn't help but celebrate by dancing after hearing the wonderful news. Stephen Yalaxi Lennon, that's Tommy Robinson, has lost his court case. Oh, yeah. What a douchebag.
Tommy Robinson is a interesting sign of the times for the UK. If he dies in prison, they're gonna have riots over there, man. He's got a lot of supporters. As much as most people hate him, he's got some pretty tough supporters over there.
And it's fucking retarded. And again, I said this when it happened. As an American, I don't understand this. I don't understand this. And it's the kind of shit when we set up our laws, we set it up so this kind of shit didn't happen here purposefully. Free press, period.
Yeah, this is one of the things that our forefathers died for.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand that as an American, you need to learn more about your revolutionary history, because this type of shit should not happen in any free country.
No, it shouldn't.
And England is moving closer and closer to a dictatorship, in my opinion.
Oh, and guys, I'll throw that dancing idiot into chat for you. There you go if you want to watch it. But back to the I wanted to talk about the global warming thing, because you're not a scientist. Okay, here's what this literally happened, guys. In 1989, United States or the United Nations global warming thing, whatever they're called, came out and told us we had a decade to fix things or we were fucked. Decade to fix things and we were fucked. Well, it's been more than a decade, several decades actually. And now they're telling us we have 12 years to fix it or we're fucked. And people are like, wait a minute, wait. What happened to that last sky was falling moment? And this is what the scientists said. We didn't account for plants sucking up the CO2.
Yeah, you're a dumb scientist if you didn't account for that. Like, seriously, you are an incompetent person and shouldn't have your job.
The scientists didn't think plants would suck up CO2.
Yeah, plants thrive off of CO2 because they breathe it and give us oxygen. It's called a symbiotic relationship. I learned that in 7th grade.
So when somebody tells me, you're not a scientist, I'm like, yeah, apparently I'm smarter than them.
Shit.
But what they're telling us now is that the plants are too full, man. They are too full. They're too full. It's reached a point where the plants won't eat anymore. Yeah. They're stuffed. They've had their Thanksgiving dinner. They're passing out in front of the football game. This is why I don't believe them. I just don't. Too many times it's like, okay, give me the proof. And they're like, well, here's the proof. I'm like, you didn't know what plants breathe?
Yeah, well, I got a buddy, a real good friend that I've known since college, 20 plus years. And he was giving me the global warming lecture. And I'm like, look, you know a lot more about this stuff than I do, granted. But I read this book about the Little Ice Age. And he said, what's that? And most people don't know that in the 1400s, we entered a smaller ice age. They call it the Little Ice Age. It's been known about for a long time. And I read this book about it called The Little Ice Age, where they had like 100 or 200 years worth of cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
And I had explained it to him, and he's like, that's made up. I've never heard of that. And he looked it up, and it was one of the co-writers or somebody cited in it was a big now global warming denier. So he's assumed it was discredited automatically. But at the time, the guy was very well respected in the field. And now because attitudes have changed.
Yeah, well, the one that I always go to is the medieval warming period. It was from about 950 AD to about 1250. 300 years of warming that they don't know why it happened.
Yeah.
And instead of trying to figure it out, all of a sudden, we're not going to pay any attention to that. And what they'll always say is, well, it wasn't as fast as this. No, it was faster, actually. It came on fast. Oh, Prospero just brought it up in chat. Yeah, the medieval warming period, it changed agriculture.
Yeah.
And when you say that, people are like, so do you realize how you have to shift temperature to raise different kinds of plants in an area you weren't able to before?
Exactly. Yeah, the Little Ice Age was from 1300 to 1850. 550 years of cooling. And I mean, there's scientific record of that.
This is my problem with scientists in this field is that they don't explain this stuff. They don't even try to. They're not looking at, you know what? Maybe we are contributing to it. Maybe. Or something else has been going on with our planet and it's either natural or it's something that we should be worried about. And we're not looking at it because we're just going, no, man, it was the SUVs. It's those damn air conditioners. We're using too much power.
Well, you also have to remember that a lot of these so-called climate scientists live off of funding from the government. So they have to preach about how the sky is falling so they keep getting funding because that's how they're paid. They get these grants.
Well, yeah, they always bitch. Oh, the scientists who disagree, they're just paid by the oil company. Like, yeah? How's the guy who agrees getting paid? Oh, yep. That's right. He's getting grants from people who agree with his bullshit.
Yeah. So, of course, they're going to spew stuff. There's a bias there that isn't being addressed.
Tailed says, I blame the media and politicians for misrepresenting the scientific data. I would agree with you if the scientists weren't misrepresenting the scientific data themselves.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is it's hard to tell who has an agenda and who's being legitimate because they have a lot of financial interest in this.
There was a big problem where the National Oceanography, whatever it's called, the NOAA, their satellite readings didn't show warming for 20 years. They called it the pause. And it was we don't know why it's happening. Now there were three theories about this. One, it wasn't real. The pause wasn't really happening. The second one was that our oceans were trapping the heat. And the third was that the oceans were cooling and bringing down the temperatures. Three different theories for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of those theories, by the way, I can't remember if it was the trapping the heat or that the oceans were cooler than they should be. One of those two was written by Michael Mann himself. And if you don't know who Michael Mann is, he is basically the godfather of global warming. He is a complete liar and bullshitter who has pushed this shit since the beginning. He's an asshole, and he is no scientist. He's a fucking politician pretending to be one. Anyhow, so you have these three competing theories about why it's happening, including one that says it doesn't. And then you know what they did? They came out and went, "Oh my God, we've been reading the data wrong for 20 years. It's actually been warming up this whole time."
Yeah, we magically found that.
And I'm like, wait, time out. Y'all didn't notice for 20 fucking years that you were reading the data wrong. But now you are reading it right, and you're sure. Tailed says, even though global warming has been observed and documented since the 1850s. Here's the problem with that theory, Tailed.
You mean the end of the Little Ice Age?
We don't have reliable what's the word temperature readings before like the 1940s. We just don't. We didn't. I mean, it is all scattered. That's when your measurements started getting really good and stuff. And yeah, things have warmed up. But as Jack said, end of the Little Ice Age. Have things warmed up? I've yet to see the part. Have we started growing plants where we didn't used to be able to in more now that they're more temperate, more or warmer? I haven't seen evidence of that. Real quick, I have a super chat that I need to get to. Zach Osborne said, "Did you know?" Sorry, it's over on the Streamlabs. Did you know that we're still in an ice age? We're coming out of it. Did you also know that a few 100 million years ago, that the Earth was about 50 degrees hotter than it is right now? You know, with dinosaurs. Whoops. Yeah, the Earth has gone through all kinds of changes, and we've seen it in the temperature record. Now, this is the temperature record. I'm going by their temperature fucking record. When they do the ice cores and all that shit. Tails says, sorry, I misspoke. The relation between CO2 emissions and climate has been documented since the 1800s. If you want to send me something that you believe proves it, by all means, do so. I have read report after report. And my favorite one is still the 2005 report. When, oh my God, it's the warmest year on record. And they actually tell you in the footnotes that in order to call it the warmest year on record, there were stations that didn't work. So not only did they decide that the temperatures in those places were hotter than any other place that they had received a record that year, they put them hotter than has ever been recorded in those spaces. They're just like, okay, that one's not working. It's usually 85 degrees there. It was 95 degrees this year. Dale says, okay, guys, I'm actually about to leave for a vacation, so I'm not getting into an argument right now. Don't want to leave in a bad mood. Cool. When you get back, send me the reports from 1850. I'd be interesting to read. I'd be interested to read them.
Is he going somewhere fun?
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, I didn't mean to get into. Yeah, have a great time. I like Taylor even if I disagree with him on this. Weather is complex as fuck. Yeah. But
yeah, I don't think we fully understand environment to begin with.
We don't.
I think that's a big part of it. Is we have people screaming the sky is falling, but we don't know if that's actually from our influence or from something else. Like you said, I mean, volcanoes produce a lot of CO2. If we have a major eruption, that's not something we have control over. Mount St. Helens blew off in 82. It'll probably blow again. That produces a lot of CO2 that could skew the results. Are they accounting for that? Hey, Polly.
Hey, it could also be that we're heretics and the divine feminine is wreaking havoc upon us.
It is. We've upset the feminine god.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Gaia. Yep.
Gaia. That Gaia bitch. She's kind of a cunt, really.
She's a harsh mistress.
No, she likes people peeing on her. Throw that out there.
What the hell is it? Somebody put Krispy Kreme donuts in a waffle maker. I'm
weirdly intrigued.
You mean the batter or the finished donuts?
The donut, man.
That's weird.
Jim Healis sent this. Look at that.
I don't know if I'm against this idea, I have to say.
I know, right?
I want to try it.
I think I want to try this. I don't want to do it to my waffle. Well, I don't have a waffle iron, but if I went over to someone else's house and they're willing to potentially fuck up their shit, I'd be, let's do it.
I need one of those in my life. Have
you had the Krispy Kreme burger where they take a donut and put a burger in it? Oh, it's delicious, but you will feel like you're having a heart attack. Like, seriously, I had such a sugar rush that like my blood pressure went up and I thought I was going to have a heart attack.
Real quick over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Evolved Potato. It says, yes, some areas of the earth are heating up and some areas are cooling down. Like it has been forever. And in some amount of time, the areas that are heating up will start to cool down and vice versa. I don't think we know what's going on. And I think that's the problem. We're not looking at everything. They've made up their mind what it is. And that is an issue.
Hypo Monk, I can't pronounce that, said when Krakatoa erupted, it actually dropped global temperatures because it blocks out the sun. And we can't get ultraviolet light in here. That's why. And I'm telling you, they're not taking that fully into account. According to my reading, I'm not an expert on this.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on this either, but I've read enough that I can argue with most people. And I do know that plants breathe CO2.
Yeah. So it should be great for plants. I mean...
And you know what? It turned out it was.
Yeah. And hey, the more trees, the better. I like trees.
Yeah.
Did you know that that's like... Here's one of the few things I can actually contribute to this conversation. Plants can grow, can take more CO2 in than there naturally is in the environment. A lot more.
Yeah.
So hydroponic operations, you can jack up the amount of CO2, like a CO2 enriched area, and they're going to grow a lot faster. Why would a plant ever be able to do that? And one of the guesses, and it is guesswork at that, is that plants largely evolved in Earth's distant past when the levels of CO2 were a fuck of a lot higher. Almost like the environment's always been changing or something.
Yeah. It still kills me that we didn't realize the plants would suck up CO2. Somebody got mad at me because I said breathe. Yes, that is a very simplification of how it happens. And they said it's absorb. I'm still going to say breathe.
They use CO2 as a precursor in photosynthesis. Does it make you feel fucking better? I mean,
we didn't get to talk about this article very much on Lords of the Night. Polly, you were there. Thanks for coming by the way.
Well, of course.
I invited both of you gentlemen, and only one of you even answered me.
Eve said she wanted to come on if there was a chance, like there was an open spot, and if you were willing. And I said, yeah, I'll ask Monkey. But then I like totally spaced on. I don't. Much like me, you never start at the same time. So anyway, and it's too bad.
No, I was talking about on the first show, on Lords of the Night.
Oh. I think.
Oh, is Eve around?
Well, okay. Continuing on with my now I realize confused story, but yeah, I was talking about right now. But I hit her up on Discord, and I think she might have went to sleep. But she went to a con tonight, and I was looking forward to hearing it because apparently it was an inclusivity promoting anime con.
Oh dear God!
And I was really looking forward to hearing this. And she said she wanted a platform to vent, so let me know if Monkey's willing to let me. I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to hear all about this."
No, I was gonna bring up the story about Miss Gillibrand because I want to read her statement again. Okay. I want to dissect it. I want to what's the term? Unpack this statement.
Oh shit! Yes.
So, a white woman asked Kirsten Gillibrand to explain white privilege, and Gillibrand delivered. And I don't know if it's Kirsten, however the fuck you say it. Your parents should have named you Christian. Kristen, thank you. Kristen, like a normal goddamn person. Anyway. So, okay, here's what happened. She's having this round table, and this young white chick holding a baby stands up and asks her about, do they have the actual question here? At a round table event in Youngstown, Ohio this week, a white woman holding a baby asked Gillibrand about the term white privilege and other divisive language used by Democrats. Now, this is an area that all across demographics has been depressed because of the loss of industry and the opioid crisis, she said. So what do you have to say in this area about so-called white privilege? Excuse me one second. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. This is her answer. It's not acceptable and it's not okay. So no one in that circumstance is privileged on any level, but that is not what this conversation is about. Here's what y'all know what the conversation's about, y'all?
Not really.
Oppression?
What the conversation is about is when a community has been left behind for generations because of the color of their skin, she explains. When you've been denied job after job after job because you're black or because you're brown. Or when you go to the emergency room to have your baby. The fact that we have the highest maternal mortality rate, and if you are a black woman, you are 4 times more likely to die in childbirth because the healthcare provider doesn't believe you when you say I don't feel right. Because
that's bullshit.
Because he doesn't value you, or because he doesn't value. Or because she doesn't value you. Sorry. So institutional racism is real. It doesn't take away your pain or suffering. It's just a different issue. Your suffering is just as important as a black or brown person's suffering. But to fix the problems that are happening in the black community, you need far more transformational efforts that are targeted for real racism that exists every day.
They are aware that like a lot of doctors are Indian, right? Or Asian.
Hate fact. Hate fact. Well, let's start with this. And this is what I started with on Lords of the Night. It has been illegal since the 60s to not hire somebody because of the color of their skin. Does that mean it started immediately? But no. By the 80s and 90s, it was pretty much a moot point. You didn't have a whole lot of people suing because they didn't get a job because of the color of their skin. Because we phased it out. We actually changed the system, you stupid shit. There's nobody who's it's an excuse. It's a fucking excuse.
Yeah, and she totally deflected too, because Youngstown has been a shithole for more than 30 years. They've had so many problems with the mob and corruption in government, but she didn't want to address any of that.
No.
It was just about, well, it's systemic and these people are oppressed. And she gave a bunch of nonsense. It's bullshit that a black woman goes into a hospital and isn't treated properly because of some doctor not valuing her as a person. That's crap. Maybe that black lady is just from a poor area that didn't have like prenatal care because she couldn't get Obamacare coverage or whatever, and she didn't take care of herself properly. That's something different to be addressed. This is not a doctors don't care problem. Doctors care fine. Even if they don't like you, they'll still take care of you.
Well, here's the problem with that. Well, because one, she says we have the highest maternal mortality rate. No, we don't.
Nowhere near.
They say we have the highest in the Western world, and if you look at it, kind of we do. For some reason, we have had a spike recently, and they're not sure if that spike is because there's actually a problem or there's just better reporting. So that's part of it right there. And they've also they've changed how long after a woman has a baby that they still count it as maternal mortality.
Yeah,
because we're not talking about moms dying on the table, guys. This is usually up to what is it, 28 weeks after the baby's born,
something like that.
Yeah, ridiculous amount of time, but yeah, it's still from the baby. And the number for black women is higher. But one of the things that, because I read a whole story on this, I went off on this not too long ago. Who was it? I think it was Kamala Harris was pushing this bullshit. And in the story, it's not the doctors. It's the women. The women themselves are not doing what they're supposed to after birth.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not taking care of yourself before or after or during pregnancy, then yeah, that's a major problem. Are you eating the right foods? Are you smoking? Are you drinking?
Are you resting like you're supposed to?
Are you working through pregnancy? What exactly are the other outside contributing factors to this? And a lot of that comes down to education. Are these women educated in what to do? Are they going to get prenatal care? Are they going to their doctor's appointment for, postpartum depression or anything like that? Follow-ups, whatever. I don't know. I don't have kids, so I'm kind of just talking off the top of my head here. But
no, you're right. It's for talking off the top of your head. You're absolutely right. The biggest problem, the biggest causes of death is bleeding afterwards. And people don't know, how much is normal and stuff. But what's happening, what it seems to be happening, is they're not going back to the doctor. They're not following doctor's orders. And in the one article I read, the woman that they were telling us about how horrible it is, she had excellent health care. She had like the best insurance you could buy. She was very well educated, very rich woman, but she died in her kitchen because she bled out. And they're like, see, black women are dying. Like, yeah, but there was no reason she should have. None. There was no indication that her doctors didn't like her. Nothing like that. And you know what? Sometimes shit just happens.
Yeah. I mean, people die, and you can't always detect a problem. Like Sinatra had that aneurysm. You couldn't predict that.
No, exactly.
And sometimes things just happen. And if there's like even a small tear on the inside of you and you start bleeding internally, you may not always notice it right away, or you dismiss it as something else, especially if you don't know the warning signs. And the only way you're going to know the warning signs is to educate yourself on medicine. And the average person doesn't know these things.
This is why this bothers me. It's dangerous. This is dangerous. This is telling, hey, black women, doctors don't care about you. No, what we should be going is, hey, guys, you need to get educated. You need to listen to your doctor's orders. You need to go to that follow-up appointment. You need to talk to your doctor about what's really going on with you. And instead, it's just like, oh, no, racism. Racism.
You can't make people afraid to go to the doctor. That's not helpful in any respect. I mean, before we went live, before I came on, I was watching a video on the 2017 Malawi vampire scare. Vampires were disguising themselves and carrying these things around their necks, special tools. They called them stethoscopes. And they described doctors. Ambulances were actually working for the internationalist, globalist vampire conspiracy to take people away and suck their blood. That's the story that was going around. And people were attacking doctors. because they believed this, because that's what ignorance breeds.
Mm-hmm.
Superstition.
Well, that story that I read, the one that Kamala Harris was pushing, their main point in that story was that black women should go to black doctors.
Yeah, see, that the segregationist mentality is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
What are the qualifications of the people that you're sending them to? For one, I want them going to the best doctors. I don't care what color their skin is. Just go to a doctor. Go to a good doctor. For fuck's sake, they're breeding the races. It's like the Klan is in power.
You think?
They're trying to trick everyone into doing what they want.
Real quick over on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Zach. Monkey, you know what's going on. These women go and squeeze out a puppy and they don't follow up. They go and they don't notice their stitches, but go snort a line and shoot up anyway. They smoke that blunt, whatever. They blow it off like all of us guys do. Whatever it is, there is a problem with black women because theirs is, I forget, it's almost like double what everyone else's is. And that is a problem and it needs to be fixed. But what it doesn't need is scaremongering bullshit.
Yeah. And you know what? A lot of it probably is because there's a high percentage of single moms in the black community. So they have to go back to work sooner. And they're not going to their doctors because they don't have time. They're not making the time to go. They're working 1 or 2 jobs, trying to take care of their kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be willing to bet that's the part they're not talking about.
And yeah, it needs talked about because too many people are dying. It's not acceptable, and we need to look at it and go, why is this actually happening? Instead of immediately yelling racism. Oh, Polly drop. Sorry, bud. I know he's not feeling too well. His tinnitus is giving him issues. But I wanted to talk about the rest of her statement, because this is what she does here. When it comes to the white person, she tells him, "Look, that's it. No, it's not acceptable, but it's not because of your skin color." Now, the very same thing is happening to a black guy, but it is because of his skin color. She's making excuses for why it's happening in the black community, and with the white community, she's just going, it just happens.
Yeah, that's the worst kind of shameless pandering.
Yeah.
Pat them on the head, go along. Oh, no, it's because you're white privilege, you stupid whitey. Get out of here, white people.
Yeah, it's not okay that you're poor, but it's even worse that black people are poor because there were people who were racist a long time ago.
She not only dismissed this woman, she implied that it's her own fault.
Yeah. And the Mary Sue, which is where this article is, they're like, this is the greatest answer ever.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
Self-loathing shit in the white community's got to stop. It's not helping anything. The racial divide is getting really so much worse. It's way worse than it was when we were kids 20, 30 years ago, depending on how old you are, audience. But yeah, it's a lot worse than it used to be, and they are brainwashing people into thinking that they're being targeted, and that never ends well.
I can't help but think they're purposefully making it worse. Because Jack, how old are you? You're what, 2 years older than me? I'm 44.
I'm 45, yeah.
Okay, 1 year older than me. So pretty much the same time. I've said this so many times, man. We got so close to racial harmony. So close. And
things were a lot better in the 90s.
We were brought up and taught skin color doesn't matter. Period. Doesn't matter. And then somewhere in the mid-90s, this whole thing changed to where nothing mattered except skin color. To the point now where we're told that if you don't judge people by their skin, that you're the racist.
Yeah, this really started, well, I started seeing it when I was in college in like 98, 99. It really started picking up steam then. Until then, it was a lot better. But now we've got these people that they want to either gain power through racial divide, or they want to destabilize things on purpose. It's probably part of the communist agenda, honestly, because I'm starting to believe that. You could call that a conspiracy theory all day long, but if you divide and conquer, it's been successful throughout history. And when you have two ethnic groups in the same area, if you can get them to turn on each other, it's a lot easier to seize control over them. Because we got to put a stop to this. And we've seen the government do that before, and it's never ended well for anyone.
Yeah, for me, I really noticed it. The first time it really hit me in the face was when Halle Berry was on Dennis Miller. And I know I've told this story before. Sorry, guys, you have to hear it again. Dennis Miller, he's like, look, this has become a thing that we're supposed to notice color. And he goes, what do you think about that? And Halle Berry goes, yeah, I agree with that. Because if you don't pay attention to my color, then you don't know what I've been through. And I was like, what?
Yeah, because you're a rich black woman. Give me a break. What have you been through that's so oppressive? Fuck off, Halle Berry.
I'm so tired of hearing this, that if you don't notice my skin color, you don't know what I went through. I don't know what you went through by looking at your fucking skin color.
No, because if you grew up in the North, okay, I live in Ohio. We didn't have segregated bathrooms here, even during segregation. That was a Southern thing, almost exclusively. Most people above the Mason-Dixon line really didn't have that. You know why? Because the North didn't care for 100 years. And when Wilson reintroduced segregation on the government level, that was in the 20s or World War I era. It had been abolished before that. So it's not like this happened everywhere. It was mostly in government facilities and in the South. And I kind of agree with Assassin of the Gray on this, that Obama accelerated a lot of this.
Oh, he did. Real quick, let me get a super Streamlabs. Zach, thank you again. Man, you've been so generous today. The racial divide is not getting worse in the real world. It's totally worse in the media. My brother is black. He's a successful news guy in Pittsburgh. Everyone loves him. I love him. I started seeing this shit in late 2010, 2012. Soros, blame Soros. Now, I'm going to disagree with you on that quite a bit. I don't know how old you are. I remember growing up, man, and it was preacher. And as a Navy brat, in the military, you will find all different races, because the military is a really good way to get out of a poor situation. You hit 18, you join the military. There's a nice job for you right there. And if you want, it can be a job all the way through retirement. And so what happens is a ton of people, black, white, Asian, all of them join the military. And then they have kids and we all go to school together. And I moved all around. And like I said, I've told you guys before, I lived in a black neighborhood where I was a minority. And we never had a problem. We didn't. There were, yes, of course, there were a couple of fucking racist assholes. Everybody knew who they were. And we just stayed the fuck away from them. But the rest of us, we just hung out. And I will agree with you that part of it is in the media, but you have actual people pushing for segregation now, but they don't call it segregation. We need a safe space away from the honkies. We need a safe space away from the honkies.
Yeah, segregation means safe space, as far as I'm concerned. I don't like your ideas. I need to be away from you.
Yeah, yeah. And as for Obama, oh God, Obama could have helped fix a lot of this, and instead he kept his mouth shut, and that was the problem.
Well, he even accelerated it in many respects.
Well,
the Cambridge police thing with his friend Henry Gates, remember that?
Yes.
So they acted stupidly. He didn't even know anything about the situation.
As bad as that was, I don't think that was such a minor thing. What I think,
it was a series of things like that. That he would address backhandedly. Oh, I don't want to get involved in local issues. Then he'd comment on them.
Trayvon Martin could have been my son.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I think even worse than that. And I've said this many times. When Obama ran for president, immediately any policy he ran on that people didn't like, it was, you don't like it because you're racist. And what Obama should have done the first time that happened is go, stop it. Stop it. It's not, they didn't like it when Hillary proposed it. They didn't like it when Bill proposed it. They didn't like it when Jimmy Carter proposed it. It's not fucking racist. Stop it. And instead he kept his mouth shut and let his fucking subordinates go out there and push this shit.
Yep.
And that's what he did that made it so much worse. Polly, you okay over there, man?
Yeah, I was just I didn't realize my mic had cut out for whatever reason it had, and then I was sitting there cracking jokes, no one's laughing, and I knew it wasn't my jokes. So they're hilarious. So I gave the mic the old tappy tap to see if I got a green response on the little Chrome thing. I'm like, oh no, I've been muted. Damn it. I had some racist, hot ones I was dropping out there and nothing. It was just
sorry we missed those. No, I had seen in chat you were talking that your tinnitus is still giving you problems. Is that okay?
Can you believe that fucking started up again tonight? The ear ringing?
Sorry to hear that, man.
I was hoping that was a fucking one-off thing, and
it might be. I mean, it could just be to last for a couple of days.
Yeah.
You
get something like that. You might have just hit your ear on something or slept on it funny, and it'll go away in a few days. You don't know.
Yeah.
If you're worried about it, go to a doctor and talk to him. I mean,
you're damn right. I'm fucking activating my medical plan over this.
Medical plan activate.
Well, I was getting a little sick of laying down because I've only had to deal with it like tonight and last night. But the only thing that really sitting there listening to it, like I said, man, I'm getting a whole new level of sympathy for people with tinnitus, man. It's one thing to say, just don't pay attention to it, because as soon as you start thinking about it, oh my God, it's a Chinese water torture thing.
Yeah.
It's the fact that it's there and it won't go away, and it's loud, man, really loud. When I'm trying to do something, I'm just going to go modeling, because modeling, you really you got to focus on what you're doing, right? Oh, fuck no. You try and focus with somebody with a fucking steel drum in your ear going ring, ring, ring. Oh, Jesus. So anyway, I found that laying down, watching a video or whatever with that ear against the pillow, I don't know. For some reason, I don't know. It just kind of tricks me out psychologically that I'm not supposed to be hearing anything through there because my ear is against the pillow. So I can kind of just watch whatever movie or whatever.
Real quick, guys, Zach Osborne again. Thank you so much. He says, oh, honey, I'm in the 10th Mountain Division vet. Oh, thank you for your service, sir. I heard all this shit. There is no racism in the Army, and if there is, it gets quashed pretty fucking quick. You don't get to be racist when you're in the suck and everybody is sucking sand in Iraq. Happy times.
Exactly.
Yep. Like I said, that is one of I think I got so fortunate being a Navy brat in that way, because all colors we were just squished together. Right. And if we didn't get along, it would have been ugly.
Dangerous Spaces says, you're quote activating your medical plan. Did you get it from the Power Rangers? No, that was actually a reference to Monkey. I know you've seen this movie. Jack, have you seen Better Off Dead?
Of course, God, yes.
Okay, that's where I stole that. That's where I stole that line from. Right, Lane Meyer. He's in
Lane Meyer.
He's in his station wagon about to race the two Japanese guys.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts his car, he thinks in drive, but it's actually in reverse, and slams into his the guy who owns, what's it called? Fat Pig?
I think it's Fat Burger. I can't remember. Yeah.
Fat Burger. Yeah. Anyway, he runs it in reverse and slams into his car because he's right behind him at the red light. And the big fat bastard gets out of the car and goes, "Get out of the car! I'm going to activate your dental plan. Get out of the car."
Yeah. That's, I love that movie. That's one of the movies that I showed to my kids and they loved it and it made me happy.
Yeah, Chad, if you haven't seen, what is it, 1980, what,
4? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's got to be like 86 or so. It's called Better Off Dead.
Yeah, it is.
John Cusack.
Yeah, John Cusack is a very young guy. It is a fucking classic, man. It is and legit funny, timeless funny.
The other good one to watch is One Crazy Summer. It's another Cusack movie.
I've heard of it, never seen it.
You know what I realized the other day? And I'm sorry, we're changing topics here. It was just it's $2, Jeremy. I want my $2. Have you ever seen Revenge of the Nerds?
Yes,
Booger?
Yeah.
Razor Fist sounds like Booger.
I could see that.
I could. Yeah, I see how you got there, I guess. Yeah. Well, of course, Booger's in Better Off Dead as well, right? Same actor.
Yep, he's in Better Off Dead.
He was in a lot of movies around that time.
Yeah, he did a lot of bit parts, and well, he's always like the best friend in a movie or something.
Yeah, in this case, the guy who's like, it's such a small ski town, he can't get real drugs, so he snorts Jello,
He snorts everything.
snorts snow.
Yeah, you got to hear him yell, and then listen to a Razor Fist. I was listening to Razor Fist. Like, what the wait? Oh my God, he's Booger. I don't know the guy's real name, but that's what I know him as is Booger.
Speaking of Razor Fist, he
I didn't get to see his video tonight yet.
His arcade is literally arcade X-Men, like on an emulator. And I'm like, these are games I could get down with. Like, I think I want like he was playing last week. It was a Schwarzenegger movie. What was it? It was Alien versus Predator, but like the original arcade version, and it looks like it. It looks like a 90s arcade stand-up console, not console, but what's the word? Where you have to put a quarter in the thing. What's it called?
the machine.
Arcade.
An arcade machine.
Stand-up arcade.
I thought there was a word for it.
Probably, but I don't know it.
All right.
Real quick, Zach Osborne, thank you. Baghdad was actually pretty cool. We got to go to Saddam's palace with heated pools and water slides on our days off, and very rarely had rocket scares. It was like the South Park rendition of Nam. My second tour was the shit. Triangle of Death. Woof. Oh, damn. You had a friend who he didn't go to, I don't think he went to Iraq. He spent all his time in Iran or in Afghanistan. He was over there for 2 years, and they didn't have no fun. No fun. I'm sorry, you were talking Razor Fist Arcade.
Yeah, arcade
cabinet.
Thank you, Jake and RJ. Yeah, that's
Anthony.
Because you can still go online and find like originals that people are selling.
Sure.
And then
Walmart sells them now.
And then like remade ones that'll have like there's like a universal joystick and 4-6 sets of buttons on it, and it plays like 3, 5, 10 different games. I'm like, fuck yeah. I would love an original Mortal Kombat 2 or 3, but I'd be okay with 1. But I'd want 2 or 3 because there's more characters and longer.
Buy one at Walmart. They're $300.
Like really?
Yeah.
Like full size, like stand up and shit.
Well, no.
There's an adapter piece you have to get to make them full size, but yeah, they make little ones that you can put in your house.
Sweet.
They're like 3.5 feet, and then the other thing makes it normal size. Yeah, I think it might actually be cheaper to find an original. If I ever could get an original game, you know what I'd get? Punch Out. We used to go.
Really?
Yeah, we used to go to a pizza place called Peter Piper's Pizza in Virginia, and I used to play that every time we went there, and I never got past the third guy until it came out on Nintendo, and then I kicked the shit out of it. But I always loved playing that game. Every time I smell pizza, I think of that game.
That's understandable. Whenever like I think about those games, like all the games that had a gun, like attached to it. Some of them were so cool. Like Operation Wolf was very cool, but the one I really dig is the Terminator 2 with the 2 guns, and it's all future-based fighting Terminators flying in the air, and the gun actually has like rocking effect to it, and it's like, oh hell yeah, that'd be a cool game to have in your place.
As I'm looking at these, I just want to remind people, make sure that the girls on #MITAM are old enough for me to be looking at.
And definitely old enough where Monkey doesn't feel weird about it, apparently.
Well, this chick with the no boobies, I'm not sure she's old enough for me to be looking at. So we'll skip her.
Speaking of girls.
She told me she was 18.
Do you see these that last picture? What's the little white thing sticking up out of these tiny thing? Are they on their period?
Maybe they're free bleeding.
What? There's a little white thing sticking out of each of their bathing suits, and there's not much of their bathing suit there.
Oh, that is the fuse for their rage meter because we get angry real fast.
Is that where they keep their money? Don't do that. You're going to get the herp from that, man. Dirty money's dirty.
It is. Did you see what Jim Healis posted in response to all of the girls in riding outfits last night?
No.
Riding pants are the yoga pants of high society.
Nice. Oh, Tanner, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Tell your friends because I need more subscribers. I'm going down. Yeah, guys, don't forget you can send what is it? We do mostly naked women. memes and stories over to the hashtag MITAM. Jeremy says, remember video jukeboxes? I don't. I always wanted one of those, the ones that you sit in it and it'll move.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Especially like the driving ones. Oh, I loved those.
Yeah, the Spy Hunter had that. And,
Spy Hunter was great.
Afterburner.
Oh yeah. Afterburner was. I love the flying games, man. I used to rock on Top Gun on the Nintendo.
I remember when I saw a Hammer in chat. I remember him talking about Spy Hunter. That he had this song stuck in his head and he couldn't figure out where it was from. And then he finally hunted it down, and it was fucking Spy Hunter, the soundtrack that was playing during the game.
Wow.
Yeah,
it had an awesome score.
That game was great, man. You just drive around shooting shit. What did you just link us there, Jack?
That's a Mortal Kombat one-up game, the cabinet games we were talking about that are at Walmart.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Let me see.
It's just so Polly could look at it. This is expensive, but if you go to Walmart, it's like $290 or $229.
This has the first 3 Mortal Kombats on it, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get them at Walmart way cheap, dude.
Is it like, I wonder, is it the same size screen as a full-size cabinet and it's just like a little shorty model? Or is
I think it's slightly smaller, but it's an LED screen. Like, it's a modern screen. It's not a tube TV screen.
Right.
So the whole thing is super light. But they have this little platform that it can sit on that also has stickers on it, so it looks like it's part of the cabinet.
Right.
So if you want to boost it up. Otherwise, you could play sitting down, which my lazy ass would do.
Like, I mean, like, that's a game you want in your place. Or fight your friends when they come over and shit.
Right?
Like, that's, yeah.
I think they're worth the $300. I'd totally buy one if I had the money, but I don't. So,
or Polly, if you'd prefer, you can get the original Mortal Kombat game cabinet for $3,495.
Yeah, so I'd just buy the one at Walmart with the nicer screen that weighs like 100 pounds less.
Yeah, I mean, it's LED, so it's probably going to be like a sharper, brighter image anyway. And even if it's a little bit smaller, hey, look at the price difference, for God's sake.
Right?
You can save your money here and go get that gold vibrator.
No.
It's almost the same price as the gold vibrator.
I don't know. I think I might have more pleasure with the Mortal Kombat cabinet since I would never use a gold vibrator. Oh, what's that in your safe, Jack? Oh, that's my gold-plated vibrator. It's an investment.
If I had $300, like the Walmart price for that, I would definitely, I'd be buying a new computer. Not a Can you imagine? You know the shit people hand me in chat and shit for not getting a Streamlabs and probably get a better computer, and then they find out I get $300 and I go blow it on a Mortal Kombat instead of buying a computer that I can stream off of. Jesus, I don't show up for one Ghost Poo podcast and I'll never live it down.
I would like to thank you for while you didn't show up for them, you showed up for me. Total with the riser is $338.99. So yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I don't know about that riser shit. I'd either put it on a table or build one myself out of 2x4s and drywall screws,
Well, you could do that. The problem is the size of it. You couldn't really put it on a table. It'd be way too high. Yeah, because the riser is only like a foot, maybe 2 feet, because the machine itself is already 4 feet.
Oh, okay.
So
it's made specifically to fit it, and that you can get them with the same stickers on it.
What are they trying to say? It's for little kids? That's insulting.
No, it's so you can play sitting down.
Oh, no.
It's so they can sell you a second thing.
Well, if you try and sit down in front of that game, you're gonna have to sit you're gonna have to play side saddle. You know what I mean?
People used to sit on stools at art. You get a stool, Polly.
Yeah, get a fucking bar stool, dude, or just
These kids today, man, they don't know shit.
No, they're fucking lazy.
I'm trying to stand up while I play it. I'm the lazy one.
I'm willing to spend the extra money if I'm going to buy something this extravagant. I'll spend the extra money to get the riser so that I can have it perfectly fit and be tall enough to stand at.
Indeed.
So earlier on Lords of the Night, Scarlett Johansson came up. So I more or less spent the entire rest of the stream looking at hot pictures of Scarlett Johansson because I'm like that.
Oh, I was looking at naked pictures of Asian ladies earlier.
Nice.
Yeah.
The best ladies to look at.
And I happened to come across this site called Oops My Tits. And
shit. Nice.
It's somebody found the L magazine, the US L from June 2004, and the original photographs taken for that series of Scarlett Johansson, and then the published ones. And all the photographs are a series of GIFs that just flash back and forth every 2 seconds over here's what they published in the magazine, here's what the original photograph looks like. So you can see the photoshopped differences.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see them?
Sure.
Hopefully they'll come across on Hangouts. I mean, there's not a lot of animation. It's just popping back and forth. But here it is. And here's the first one.
Yeah, look at them thunder thighs.
Yeah,
Leave her alone.
Look at that. Look at the
Ooh. Hang on, I gotta make that bigger.
See? Moo. Normal. Moo. Normal.
No, I said ooh.
Yeah, I said moo, because that's what the thunder thighs are for.
No, see that looks like a chick with daddy issues who's just been crying. There's nothing wrong with her thunder thighs, by the way.
I think her thighs actually look bigger, wider. Like when you give me the two options, it's like,
Yeah, the first one
notice the butt
wrong.
shrinking in the back too. That's not right.
No, that makes her legs look wrong, jack sized. James Colley, thank you. Wears a smoking jacket and buys original Mortal Kombat arcade machine. No, Polly, you're not posh at all.
See,
I need a vintage one.
I bought a vintage smoking jacket years ago. 2/3 of the price was on the girl's cred at the fucking vintage store. Like, you turn in clothes and then they give you credit when they sell on consignment. Right.
Yeah.
And then the other like $20 that it cost, I paid for. And I still have to see, fuck, your chat's got a great memory. I'll give you that.
Here, Polly, I threw the Walmart link in so you could buy the Mortal Kombat game machine for $299.
Do you know? Look at what's happening with her nose.
2-day delivery.
What are we doing with her nose? Oh, wow.
Shrinking it. Along with that flabby meat on her arms.
They are not flat. For God's sake, Jack.
That's flab.
If anything, she looks like more human with round arms and shoulders. Like look at it's like the lines around her face right here underneath her mouth, and then the incredible shrinking nose, which I find funny.
Jack's the kind of person who found Japanese women prettier when they came out of the internment camps.
Wait till you see the one where they keep shrinking her hand. Like her hand goes from small to big because ladies shouldn't have big man hands.
They should.
Oops. Hold on. Skip past a whole bunch there. Okay. There we go.
There's nosy nose.
Yeah. Tip. They they thin out her jawline here. No, look at that. It's going from like boom, 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 and then with the waist.
About to give birth to an alien.
Jack.
I mean, look, it doesn't look like she's about to have a John Hurt moment.
Does
Jack,
actually.
On dates, do you slip the syrup of Ipecac into women's drinks?
Not that you know of.
My
lawyer says not to answer questions like that.
See, there's her shrinking arms for Jack again, and shrinking feet. Apparently, her feet were too long for.
Wait. Oh, she's got ugly toes. Damn.
Oh, you and the feet monkey.
Those look like fingers. She could climb.
One body shaming.
She could climb a tree with them fucking things. Look how long they are.
Fucking feet, though. Feet are gross.
Well, no. Look, feet can be gross, or they can just be normal.
No, they're gross.
Or they can be cute. Lady Monkey has very cute feet. They're tiny and they're petite and they're feminine. Those are ape feet. Oh dear God.
They shrink her nose and demethify her.
Yeah, she looks confused and mildly retarded.
She's got a bumpy forehead.
Not after the touch-ups. Yeah. She doesn't.
Well, I just noticed that on the other one too. Oh, they raised her nose too.
Yeah. Those ridges are for combat. She's actually part Klingon, and it's so she can headbutt people.
What I notice is that like all around here on the left side of her mouth, she has a discoloration. Either she's got some blemishes or whatever, but it's in every picture that you see it.
That's the blood of whoever she headbutted last.
You be nice. I just like how crack hoary she looks in all of these.
Look at this.
They raised her shoulder.
No, they're disappearing it, so it's more rounded.
Okay. Oh, so that's the second one. Okay.
Yeah. And this is the shrinking hand one. See?
She's got manly shoulder blades.
Oh, they did shrink those hands.
Yeah. It's like she needs small, petite hands. And over here, she's got a hair that's out of place. So we need to get rid of it. And
Well, that I get. But the longshoreman hands, geez.
And apparently they didn't like this impression that her dress was making in her arms. So they got rid of it.
That's normal photoshopping. It's the other stuff that I get that. But
this is in stressifying her titties.
To do that.
Well, they're shrinking her nose, as we can tell. They're widening her eyes.
Fixing her forehead.
Yeah, and fixing her forehead. And then this is like thinning her waist and tightening her shirt because her heaving breasts are just stressing the fabric, you know.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Everybody's giving me shit in the chat just because I like skinny chicks that are healthy.
There you go. Getting rid of the quote-unquote flab of her arm.
Yeah, that's baby fat flab.
Dear God, Jack.
It's not my fault she's a hideous monster.
No, it's just women should look at this and realize that that's all of them. It's just like, this is not Western beauty standards or the male patriarchy. This is a bunch of fucking gay men and women at magazines doing this stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
And Jack.
Jack. Yes.
That's floppy arms and longshoreman fingers.
Okay. Look, I'll give you the hand because that hand, it's a bad picture where, I mean, anytime you have a hand or a foot really closer, a lot closer to the camera, it's going to look fucked up. She doesn't have the smallest hands anyway, but I can understand that one. There's no reason to clean up most of what they cleaned up in this.
Nope, but they do anyway, and it's
what's that weird little thing they fixed on her hair?
It looks like there's like her hair goes straight back, and then there's some that's
there's probably one or two strands that the camera's picking up that are out of place, and the light's hitting it just right because there's probably 4 or 5 soft boxes, and the one on the upper left is going to do that. It's going to pick up one stray hair, and you're going to get light on it.
Yeah,
that's
so. What I mean, how old was she in 04? Probably like 20.
I don't know. I don't know how old she is to begin with.
Evolved potatoes, don't listen to them. They can have the fatty. She's not fat.
Yeah, anyone who thinks that
her arms would disagree.
You're crazy.
So with those monstrous thighs.
Oh dear, the monstrous thighs. Guys, send Jack pictures of women with monstrous thighs.
Oh, by the way,
I'll ignore them like I do most of my Twitter. So.
I have proof to my satisfaction that her fappening pictures are not leaked at all, as was once claimed.
She's got fappening pictures. Is there veg?
No. Oh. Well, okay, like she's nude. She's like it looks like she's taking a picture and sending it to her boyfriend, like, and it's supposed to be like, oh, I'm going to send you some titty pictures, and somebody hacked your iPhone and blah blah blah. And there's one supposedly that her then fiance or husband Ryan Reynolds took of her, and it's like, my privacy has been violated. I've more or less got proof to my satisfaction that's a bunch of bullshit. You want to see it?
Sure.
Okay.
I think Ryan Reynolds deserves better.
I think Ryan should have tapped that and enjoyed it.
Okay, share Pale. Oh, the flashing. Hold on. Goddamn Chrome.
Okay. Unshare quick. Okay.
There. Okay. So they're all small pictures because like there she is sitting in her bed working on a script, like memorizing a script.
Okay.
I have seen an image like this picture, but not from this angle. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's one of her fappening pictures, which I just happened to.
It's a very unflattering position.
Okay. Well, it is. And it's like, who sits like that in a bed? Or lays like that in a bed?
I do.
Oh, look. It's another fucking angle of the same thing. And she's not looking up going, Ryan, what are you doing taking pictures of me? It's another picture from the same posed angle. Okay. And then there's the one that everybody saw, the fappening picture. She's still in the same bed and wearing the same thing.
Wait,
I have 5 different angles of this same fucking photograph. That's not somebody stealing her pictures. This is a Kim Kardashian planned event.
Is that white? Was that photoshopped in? Should there be lip there?
No. She's
Oh,
wearing like a thong in it. She's got like a big old muscle bound booty in it.
No,
She's
I'm with Mr.
swallowing up
Dex.
the thong.
She's letting out a fart right there. That's a fart.
You
She's like,
behave.
Brian, I'm farting. No, Mr. Dex is right. I'm 100% sure of that.
Do you want to see the really hard to understand gif that I found of some guy grabbing her tit in public?
Okay.
I know, right? It's like,
This episode got weird real fast.
yeah, it's one
Ollie
of those,
came in with the nakeds.
it's one of those pictures that cycles like infinitely. So okay, here she is, and this is where she's wearing like the red dress, super bust dress. Look at this guy at the Golden Globes. He just leans in and grabs her fucking tit. Look, and she laughs.
Yeah, that's an awkward laugh there. She does not look comfortable.
Of course, like,
No.
what
guys,
the fuck are
guys.
you doing?
That's what women like. When you talk to a woman, just reach out and grab her titties. They love it.
Can you fucking believe the guy just
for
like
entertainment purposes only?
yeah, and he's from like ETV or whatever his microphone says, and he's like, "Oh, look, this is a very nice dress. Here, let me just feel this boob and give the nipple a little tweak here." Like, what the fuck, buddy?
Like, that's how I always introduce myself to women. I don't shake hands because I don't like touching other people's hands.
That's how you greet them in this culture.
That's right. Evolve Potato, thank you. Polly, check the hashtag for a pinball machine that I think you'd like.
Okay.
I'm still looking for Scarlett Johansson naked, and I'm not believing most of these pictures are her.
No, they probably look thinner.
Oh, nice. Classic Star Trek.
You're
pinball.
such a douche. You leave her alone, man. I'd tap it. Come on. You wouldn't tap that? Thank you, Omar, for the donation with no message. I appreciate that so much.
I don't think I would. I don't
Really?
find her very attractive on multiple levels. And I think she's kind of a bitch.
Oh, she looks like a... Maybe that's what I like about her, because she does look like she's just a bitch.
Yeah, but she doesn't look like the fun kind of bitch. She looks like the lay there
No.
like a sack of wheat and complain the whole time kind of bitch.
I don't think she doesn't come across as a bitch to me. She comes across as exceptionally self-absorbed. That if you were to have a conversation with her about anything, she would just kind of like stare at you blankly until you related it back to her.
Yeah.
know?
Cynic sent this in with the comment, Jack's ideal girl.
That's a little too thin. I'm sorry. I'm not into skeletons. But I like them, athletic and trim, and not like they have cottage cheese stuffed in their pants. Yeah, James Charlie's right, and Trump catches shit for grabbing by the pussy.
Look,
right?
man,
Why did that guy get me too? Holy fuck.
Why are there furries on my hashtag? Ramen, go sit in the corner.
Far's in chat, and she did confirm that she does in fact lay in bed like that all the time. There we go. See, women really do that. I guess I was wrong.
It's weird. Chicks
I lay like that because it's one of the positions I can get comfortable in sometimes and watch TV.
Are there people standing behind you with cameras taking pictures of your taint from multiple angles?
There's going to be now. Now that I realize there's a market for that, yes. Here's my hairy taint. Actually, my taint's not hairy. I'm not a hairy man. Just throwing that out there.
All right.
Actually, what hair I do have is blonde, so I look like I shave until you get really close. Told that story before when I went to be Miss Relay for the Relay for Life. My mother-in-law's a breast cancer survivor, and they asked me if I'd do Miss Relay for their team. And what that is guys dress up and carry around a purse and do a lap where they collect donations. They're like, fuck yeah. They're like, I can't believe you're going to do this. Like, I make a fool of myself all the time for no good reason. This at least has a purpose, Like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. And one of the guys, when we get there, goes, did you shave your legs? I'm like, fuck no, I didn't shave my legs. There's blonde hair. Leave me alone.
Sassa the Gray says that the guy on the red carpet grabbing her tit there is Isaac Mizraher, a T-gay fashion designer. I take it means the gay fashion designer.
T-gay, yeah.
I might that is that the key? You see some like big old titties and some massive cleavage, you just walk and go, oh, honk honk, a little tweak and a pinch, and then be like, oh, it's okay, I'm gay, you see.
Look, I am convinced there's a lot of people who tell women they're gay just so they can see them naked. And because women, for some reason, women try to turn gay men. I think they just pretend to be gay. They don't actually have sex with men. They just say that so that they can see women naked and do all kinds of things that heterosexual men would get in trouble for.
You know, in the 90s, we had a term for that that's probably not acceptable anymore. It was called a homophony.
Yeah, that's actually good. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, there was a great song that exemplified that by the Bloodhound Gang called I Wish I Was Gay So I Could Get Chicks.
It's now. I mean, I think it's just so you can see chicks naked. Like, well, if you're gay and you go hang around chicks, you're insta perma cemented friend zoned. I mean, you know,
you're not. There are women.
I don't know, but I would assume you are.
No,
they try and turn gay men.
Yes, they try to turn them straight.
So you're trying to tell me that the majority of women are homophobic because they don't realize they're born that way?
No, not the majority of women. Just like one in each group. There's always one in each group. I know a gay man, who was talked into licking a chick because he'd never done it before. The chick's like, "No, come on, lick mine," and he's like, "Okay." Tell me that wasn't planned out. Tell me he doesn't like pussy. You can't lick pussy if you don't like it. I'm just throwing that out there.
There's something that I'm trying to understand this. I'm trying to wrap my mind around it, right? I'm at a university campus, which means that, you know, if you're gay, like, even though you only represent 4 or 5% of the population, you somehow represent half the student body. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's life current year. So there's lots of gay guys around is the point. And a whole bunch of them I talked to, they said like, "Oh, when I was dating girls," and I was like, whoa, what? You know, because the popular narrative that gets broadcast, at least, I'm not trying to say it's everyone's story, but the popular narrative, born this way, how dare I? You know, it's not a choice. You know, so there's a condemnation that comes along with it, a moral high hill that they stand upon. Usually, straight people say they're born that way. It's not a choice. You know, it's, you know, so thus immutable characteristic and wrong to say anything about. Okay, wait a minute. I'm a straight guy. I don't have any sexual attraction to men at all. Like, I don't get the concept. Would not all of these guys have had to have been gay? You've had sex with multiple women many times in your life and then decided that you preferred sexual relationships with men. But dude, you got it up. You were there. You enjoyed it. But you also enjoyed sex with men and decided you preferred it. Is that not by definition bisexual? Because straight up, I just wouldn't be able to get it up with a man. Like, there's no desire there whatsoever. So I mean, but you see what I'm getting at? It's like, wait a minute.
No, I do. I
can understand never dating a woman or dating a woman, and the whole time it was just like, I know that I'm supposed to do this, but I don't feel attracted to you. I'm just going through the motions kind of thing. But that's not what any of them were saying.
No. I've told you before, there was a guy I worked with. He had 3 kids before he came out as gay.
Right. And right. I remember that. Yeah. And then he showed back up and he was like the gayest gay man.
Super gay. Yeah.
That was a lot more common back until like the 70s or 80s, where you had, it was illegal to have sex with other men, sodomy laws and all that.
But I made this argument. I actually got in trouble with a lot of liberals because I told them that because I was making the argument that gay men could get it up if a woman was giving them a blowjob. And I know they couldn't. They just don't like women. I'm like, you could get it up if a dude was giving you a blowjob. And they're like, "Oh, no, I wouldn't." I'm like, okay, you got your eyes covered and a mouth comes on your penis. And you're telling me you can tell the difference on the inside of a man and woman's mouth. Yes.
Yeah, that's why you don't play around at glory holes, because
exactly. Have you ever seen that video?
Whatever you're talking about, no.
There's a video. Sorry, I heard about this on the Christian Science Monitor. This dude sticks his wiener through the glory hole, and a woman starts going down, and he knew the woman was supposed to be in there. Ha ha ha! Right?
Okay.
Well, halfway through it, they switch, and there's a dude doing it. I'm like, oh,
that's how that dude got murdered from the Jenny Jones show.
He just went gay and didn't know it. And he blows his load in a dude's mouth. I'm like, oh my God. No glory holes. Don't do glory holes, man. You're going to end up being sucked up by a dude. Unless you want to be sucked up by a dude, by all means, go do it. And ladies, please go to glory holes. That's a nice service women provide for men.
No, the whole idea of a glory hole, I don't get it. It's just like, no.
I
Thank you, Prospero. Honest to God, glory holes. This is a new high for Monkey in the Morning.
we are an educational show around here.
Well, Inquisitor, I read one of his tweets like when he woke up in the morning and he's looking at like all this stuff on MITAM, right? And it's a bunch of women in riding outfits. And I forget what his words were, but it was like, you know, you could sense the confusion. He's like, what conversation could have possibly led to hot equestrians? I'm like, man, come on. You've been around for Monkey in the Morning. You've been on Monkey in the Morning, man. There's not...
there is no, see, tonight, I almost told you, Polly, we have a format on the show when you were on Lords of the Night. Because we just don't have one over here, and it's a whole different kind of context, and that's one of the great things is we could be talking earlier. We were talking about, you know, the very serious topic of racism in America today, and now we're talking about glory holes. That's the beauty of a morning show.
Racism in America, and then inexpensive video game cabinets we'd like to buy,
indeed,
and then Photoshop fakery. Jack's odd attraction to anorexic women.
They're not anorexic. I don't like anorexics. I
think you do. No, he likes bulimics.
And now we're on to glory holes. That's the dangers of glory holes, actually.
Oh, wait. David, who was it that said to check the hashtag? Where is that at? Jedi Ghost Bear says, hey, Monkey, I found you a sponsor. Check the hashtag. Are you talking about this? Oh, yeah, it's you right there. I found a sponsor for you. It's Good Clean Love. Almost naked personal lubricant. I wonder if they would sponsor me.
That'd be awesome.
I would try their. I've never used it. I'd try their stuff, and if I liked it, I would absolutely. Usually, I'm on when you get this pervy. I'm happy to dodge bullets. Look, we get pervy all the time. At the porn booths, they tape them up, constantly ripped off. What's ripped off?
The blindfolds? I don't know.
Jeremy's saying, just saying gay men suck the cock. Good. I'll take your word for it. My argument was just, I don't know if I could tell the difference from a man and a woman's mouth if, you know, I had nothing else to go by.
Yeah, unless there was a beard or something like that.
Yeah.
Facial hair to give it away.
Or he goes, hi. Then, you know.
My name's Susan. No, it's not.
Please go get someone else, Susan.
Oh man, see, this isn't good. Somebody recommended an anti-nausea drug for me, and it's, you know, you go read on what the drug is. They said here, you know, I had Meniere's disease or have it, and I got a lot of vertigo. The vertigo's kind of gone away, but like this is what I took for the nausea associated with it, and so I wrote it down because it was a long, hard to, you know, remember drug name. And I look it up just now, and it's like one of the serious side effects include movement disorders, including tardive dyskinesia. And it's like, no, I remember from psychopharmacology what tardive dyskinesia is. You don't want it. It's dyskinesia is any kind of like muscle nerve irregularity. Tardive dyskinesia is if you've ever seen somebody that's been on people that are really sadly afflicted by schizophrenia take really powerful antipsychotic drugs, or they often do anyway, and it looks like they're forever chewing on something. Involuntary jaw and mouth movements.
Does have a tick? Yeah. Atheist said, search check glory hole, their next level. I'm now afraid. Well, you were saying, okay, now I got to look this up.
I don't know. It's like, if you ever looked up like a symptom on WebMD or whatever the fuck, and it starts listing like possible causes, and it's like cancer, AIDS, you're impending death. Like, you know, fuck.
All of my doctors are like, or all the ER doctors where I live are like that. You go there for something and they go to the worst possible thing, and then they're like, check with your doctor tomorrow. And then you go check with your doctor, and doctor's like, they told you what? There was one time they told me that my nuts were going to fall off. What in the God's name is this, dude?
Prospero just asked, how common is that side effect, Paulie? Well, okay, there's the thing. You'd have to see the study, the prevalence numbers of it. of how many people in their test group developed that symptom compared to those who were taking the placebo. In addition to how many of those people were taking just that drug at that time. So it could be a combination side effect of two drugs at the same time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you ask a good question. I don't know. And a certain milligram amount, it might be, these were high dosage patients that were taking for antipsychotic value, not anti-nausea value. So yeah, I don't know. But it's just every time you see that shit, like it's just, that's why doctors tell you don't look stuff up on the internet, man. It's just going to scare the fuck out of you. And it's like, yeah.
WebMD, you stubbed your toe, you probably have toe cancer.
Yeah,
I mean, they list it for the obvious reasons. It is a possible side effect that does affect a small percentage. That's when you see the drug commercials on TV. It always lists this wild range of things you don't want. Yeah, well, they're legally required to inform you that there's a very slight chance that this might happen to you, you know.
WebMD is for doctors. It's to scare hypochondriacs, and it's for doctors to do shortcuts, because I've seen my doctors look shit up on a WebMD.
It's for hypochondriacs. Documentary explores the twisted world of women hating incels.
To a game convention.
Women hating incel because they're declared women haters, or they're just assuming that they are because you know
that's redundant. All incels hate women.
A disturbing new documentary explores the dark world of incels, an online community of male virgins who hate women and praise mass murderers.
Wow.
Oh, fuck off, man.
Yeah,
they went to the darkest dark, didn't they?
Well, obviously they're all alt-right too.
BBC 3 documentary Inside the Secret World of Incels explores how the killer is hailed, talking about Elliot Rogers. It's hailed as a hero by many online who refer to him as Saint Elliot. Okay, you went to the worst of the worst incel groups. Come on, that's not fair. That's not fair. And as for Elliot Rogers, what a bitch ass pussy, man.
It's that was really bad timing to laugh out loud. I was just, one of the drug names that this drug is sold under is Vergon.
Vergon. That sounds like some shit people would make up as a joke.
Well, that's what I mean. Like you've got vertigo, and this makes the effects of it go away. It's Vergon. Like it's really, that's the name you went with.
Vergon almost sounds like something you'd give a virgin so it would go away.
Vergon is like a space alien race. Raise the shields. It's the Vergons.
The Vergons are here.
I spoke too fast. No Vomit is another name. It was sold under all one word. No Vomit.
Oh, did you guys hear about the story of the mom who was wrongly implanted? She got
they had an Asian baby.
Was it Asian? I can't remember.
So they upgraded.
No, they have a tell-all here. No, she doesn't look Asian. Well, the mom doesn't.
I thought that was the idea, is that they were Asian and the baby wasn't, or they weren't Asian and the baby was, whatever the fuck.
None of these people look Asian.
Okay.
Here, I'll show you on the screen. For those of you who don't know, they had the in vitro. Is that what it's called? That
woman looks justifiably upset.
Yeah.
Look at his. I don't know if you can see it. His eyes are red as fuck, man.
Really?
Well, yeah, I'd be upset too. But in a way, she just cheated on him.
Jesus Christ.
She's got some spooge in her.
Yeah, they were implanted with the wrong egg, and when it came out, they had to give it to this chick.
Did they have to trade? That's not a chick. That's some black dude.
That's what?
You didn't scroll fast enough when you said that. And there was a black dude on my screen.
My bad. Yeah, it was her baby. So yeah, they had to give it back.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. So they raised
nice.
Yeah,
how was it her baby?
It was her embryo, and they mixed up the petri dishes. They were both getting implanted,
So they had two couples, and they had like separate. They had eggs in some whatever petri dishes or whatever way they do it. They put the sperm in whatever with the eggs, and they put the wrong embryos in the wrong women, back in the wrong women.
Yeah. Yep.
So she did have a baby, just wasn't hers.
Yeah, she had to go through pregnancy and everything and then give up this kid.
Well, wasn't somebody implanted with her embryo?
It didn't take.
Okay. So that other woman is just like fuck her. It must be from their perspective. It's like, oh, here's your baby. Yeah, I appreciated carrying it for you for 9 months, you miserable bitch. You know,
yeah. So
if she had gotten an abortion, she probably would have been sued.
Probably. Well, yeah, I mean, it's fucked up because there wasn't a trade. I think that would have made it easier if there was a trade. Like, oh, okay, yeah, here's yours, here's mine. We still get our babies. No, it's not her baby, so she had to give it to the other woman.
Prospero's right. That's horrible. Yeah, that's just like no wonder they look sad. Like that's like, don't even be writing stories about people like that. Like, if you know what I mean, unless they're trying to like get the word out so it doesn't happen again. Like, holy shit, that hospital, clinic, institute must be looking at a massive civil suit from those two.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That is probably the most fucked up story I've read in a long time.
Yeah, man. Like, imagine all the pain and bullshit they went through to I mean, because if you're having difficulty conceiving, you obviously really want to, and dump all kinds of money and time and everything into it. And then after, literally at the very end, like, God.
Mentioned all the emotional attachment she built up.
And I mean, if they're going through this, they wanted to have a baby regular and something happened, so they couldn't. So they went this route. They really wanted a child. Yeah, this fucked, man.
Like, I mean, they right up to the point of like giving birth. So like they probably had a nursery built, names picked out, little clothes bought, diapers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, that's awful.
What should we name it? Little Not Ours. The actual mother better be the best mother in the world. If she turns out to be an assigned gender bitch, I will rate. Yeah, look, it's not her fault. Dangerous. It's in this. All of this falls on that clinic. Every bit of it, because. Absolutely, that should go to the right mom. I mean, it's fucked up, but it should go to the right mom.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I could understand if she had said, "Look, you already bonded with the kid. You've had to carry it for 9 months. That's your baby now." That
but
might have been the best way to do it.
Probably, but you also got to realize she's in the same boat, man. They desperately want a kid.
Yeah, but the clinic could have made it right with like a buy two get one free sort of thing. Like, we fucked up, so you get a free baby injection or whatever they call it.
Here, we got a nice black one for you. That man, that is such a fucked up story.
Somebody's gonna get destroyed in this, no matter what, and there's no winners here.
A black one for you. You know what that made me flash back to? John Ward's video on Colin Kaepernick.
Oh yeah.
The recent one he did. Guy, I mean, of course his irony and sarcasm is just like, neck deep in it watching that video, but he makes such a great point. Like, and these horrible upper middle class white oppressors who oppressed him all through his childhood.
Yeah. Kaepernick, man, has no reason to complain about anything fucking ever. Why are we upset with Sofane? Was he fucking around on Twitter upsetting people again? No one nowhere says fuck Sofane and his apologists. I'm not an apologist for Sofane, but I am his friend. Me and him get along pretty well. The look on Kaepernick's mother's face, that's his video. Colin Kaepernick destroys Nike or ends Nike, something like that.
Career something.
Yeah, it was a good video. Not saying it's her fault. What I'm saying is she better appreciate the fact that she did get her kid. No, and I understand that. But man, that story's fucked up. I wouldn't. How would you like to be the one who had to make that decision of where that baby went?
Who made that decision? Was it a court?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it was just. What's that?
I bet it was the court.
I think it was just the mom. I think it was the mom who had the baby. They told her, it's not yours, and she's like, okay, we'll give it back. But I'm not positive on that, guys. It's just poof. What a fucked up story.
Midnight in Exile said he just got home from work, kicked Polly, and no one nowhere said Sofane was defending milkshaking.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's right. He was.
was he?
Yeah. Like not maybe he was doing it again recently, but he also was like before. This is not the first time. Maybe they were referencing when I had heard about it like, a week ago.
What did he just post? Claiming that anti-fascists are equally as violent as the fascists is how internet centrists help stochastically radicalize lone wolves. What the fuck is that word? Was he drunk or is this actually a word?
Was that supposed to be statistically?
I'm not sure. It's STOCHAST. Oh, that's a long spelling. Refers to a randomly determined process.
I think he's wrong.
I think he was probably. Did he get word of the day toilet paper and misunderstand it?
You got one of those calendars.
Oh, that's right. Prospero just reminded me. It was
Here's the word.
Your boy Pat and Fane were going at it on Twitter. That's what I had heard about it. Fane was going hard at Pat.
Huh. Yeah, I missed all that.
Well, he needs to remember that when this escalates, because it starts out with milkshakes, ends up with Quickcrete. Next thing, there's a small gay Asian man in the hospital.
They were arguing because, Pat, he said, people ask why you'll never see Antifa in Texas because we carry down here and we're not afraid to defend ourselves from masked up little cowards.
Yep.
Same thing that Razorfist pointed out in his video. You never see this shit in a carry state.
I love how he said it too. He goes, I'm not saying that like vigilantism, or I forget what he called it, like street corner cowboys is the solution. But you are not, that's not the point. And that's not the idea behind a well-armed society as a polite society. The idea is that you are not going to go start throwing shit at people or trying to dress up in your little plain ninja uniforms when you know everyone's got a 45 potentially under their shirt. It's like, yeah, you don't.
This is why I actually support the Proud Boys. And there's a reason the Proud Boys were quickly labeled as racist and pushed out of the way. Because the Proud Boys are what we need. For Antifa, the Proud Boys are what we need, because the Proud Boys are a bunch of guys who like to fight. They're basically our version of football hooligans. They just like to fight, and they don't like Antifa, and the police aren't doing their job. I'm like, we're going to go do it. We're going to go, these fuckers start some fights, we're going to go beat the shit out of them.
I disagree with that position. I understand what you're saying, but I disagree with it.
Which position? That's what we need?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that's what I understand what you're saying.
The law won't do its job.
It's tempting. It's not like I don't find what you're saying persuasive. It is tempting, but no, because there's too much that stands in the way that there's just like full stop. No, I disagree with that, because what you're essentially asking for is two mobs to be banging it out in the street. Either the cops need to fucking do their job, or there needs to be more outrage for it. And you can guess what drum I'm going to bang on this. Yeah, what's the problem? News entertainers acting like one side is not morally equivalent to the other. It's like,
this is a normal response when the cops don't do their job, is that there will be another group to fill the void.
There comes a time when there's violence in the street. These guys are beating people up and burning shit and destroying property, and the police are like, I ain't touching them. And there comes a time when men have to step up and go, I ain't putting up with this shit no more.
Well, this is what I'm saying. If you're gonna do that, this is what we need. I guess it's just the phrasing you use, and if we went into more detail, maybe I wouldn't be disagreeing with you. I
probably would, because this is an opinion that polite society doesn't agree with. I grew up with, if somebody hits you, you hit them back. You don't run to the teacher. You don't go tell mommy. If somebody hits you, you hit them back.
But you are not talking about that kind of situation.
Yes,
at all.
I am. Yes, I am.
Okay, then I was picturing something different than
the only
what
difference
you were thinking of.
The only difference is they are purposefully putting themselves in the way to get punched, so they can punch back. It's the same thing. If I go stand here and it's legal for me to be standing here and you punch me and I knew you were going to punch me, you still punch me and I get to beat the fuck out of you for it.
So, okay, then I'm confused as to why you're bringing up the Proud Boys at all. Okay, let me ask you this. Is the same meaning satisfied by this statement? What we need is people who are going to crack back as hard, if not harder, the moment they're attacked by somebody from Antifa.
Yes.
Okay, then we don't have a disagreement. Because what I'm imagining you're saying when you say that is, oh, Antifa's down there, activate the Proud Boys. And, they all get a message on their little decoder watch and they run down to the same area. And it's like, I mean, that's a vigilante posse. That's
and that's
different.
what I'm talking about. No, it's not. It's not. And here's why. Because they still don't throw the first punch. They're down there as a safety measure. As long as Antifa's walking around and not hurting anybody, fine. You know what happens? The Proud Boys stand right over here. The first time violence happens, it's time to have fun.
What I have a real problem with in all of this is that these Antifa guys are running around wearing outfits, and I am not getting a penny off of it because they're stealing the character from my book. And I'm really upset by that. And my book sales have not gone up despite the fact that they're dressing just like the person on the cover. It's very upsetting.
Yeah, no, Polly, I get what you're saying, and I do, and I know a lot of people would disagree with me, because I am talking about vigilante justice. I'm not calling for it because I believe in vigilante justice. I'm calling for it because I believe there's a time for vigilante justice,
and the cops aren't doing their job.
That's when there's a time.
So you got a whole bunch of people like in Portland, with the Andy No thing happened.
That's where they pretty much hold up because they're allowed to do whatever they want.
We're going to step up and do the cops' job for them. We're deliberately going to go down there. That's two groups banging it out in the street.
We're not doing the cops' job for them. We're going to go beat up these assholes if they touch us.
If they touch us, yeah.
Yep.
But that's okay. I don't know if I actually have much of a disagreement with what you're saying. It's I don't know.
It's not polite society what I'm talking about, because we do look as a society. We're like, vigilante justice is horrible. Normally, yes. Normally, we say no. You don't have the mob that comes down to the court, drags the guy out, and hangs him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But what we do have sometimes, and what the Proud Boys did was the Proud Boys said, we're not putting up with these fuckers anymore. When they have a rally, we're gonna have a rally. And if they start some shit, we're going to beat the living fuck out of them. And that's what they did. It's what they kept doing. And that's why the press went after them. That's why the press are like, oh, that group over there with the black Jew, they're racist Nazis.
Right.
Because they had to shut them down because, they were doing the job the police wouldn't. And not to the point where they're like, okay, we're going to lock them up like Cartman from South Park. No. They were like, you touch somebody, we're going to beat your ass. And I do believe there's a time in society for that. I'm not somebody who believes, there's never a time for violence. I think there's often times for violence, to the point. Here, let me give you an example here, Polly. My son, when he was second, third grade, something like that, the school had a no violence policy, no tolerance for it. If somebody hits you, you go tell the teacher, you don't hit them back, because if you do, then you both get in trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we told my son that's the rule. And 3 days in a row, he came home telling us that he got hit. I'm like, did you tell the teacher? Yep. And on the third day, I'm like, he hit you again. You beat the ever living shit out of him. And my wife's like, you can't tell him that. I'm like, I just did, because he's doing what he's supposed to. It's not stopping. It's time to answer back with violence. And you know what? So my son did, and he never got touched again.
I think the main reason I'm disagreeing with you here is because you're saying it's like, and then the supposedly equivalent situation you compare it to is an obvious, straightforward one of undeniable self-defense, which not only do I not have a problem with, I thoroughly fucking encourage. But you're saying go down there, as a posse of people that are, as you compared them to, soccer hooligans. In other words, people on chips on their shoulders that are looking for a fucking fight to see if they can provoke these guys into a fight. Yeah, that's provoking, banging it out in the streets. This is what we need. I'm surprised that your statement isn't, what the fuck is wrong with the people that are ordering the cops to stand down as opposed to individual citizens?
No.
doing something about it.
I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't be asking the cops. Absolutely. Why are the cops standing down? But as long as they are, I have no problem with the group who wants to go down there, people who like to fight and hate these little shitheads, because that's how you stop them. You either start locking their little shitty asses up, or somebody beats the fuck out of them, because that's what stops them. You know why they're not everywhere else? It's because people started fighting back, and the cops are like, oh, we got to stop this shit now.
Yeah.
And the only people who haven't is fucking Portland. They still let these little shitheads run wild.
Well, not just Portland, Berkeley too.
Are they still really big in Berkeley?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The West
Well,
Coast.
the whole town, like not just the campus, but like the whole place.
Yeah, I just know they're running rampant in Berkeley. And yeah, I have no problem with the vigilante posse like that looking for a fight. I really don't. Because that's how you stop them. If they want to go out, I have no problem with Antifa protesting. I don't. I encourage you, go protest. Stop hitting people. Stop breaking shit. Stop trying to set fire to everything you see. Leave trash cans alone. I don't know if you were left in a trash can as a baby or what. What is your problem with trash cans? Stop breaking windows. Stop attacking Starbucks, for fuck's sake. If you want to go out there and protest. But if you're going to be violent and the police aren't going to do anything, if I was younger, dude, younger, healthy, without a family, you bet your ass I'd have been a Proud Boy. And I've been at every one of those just waiting for a fight. Because it's what the law enforcement has set up. Because what's the other choice? Get beat down. Get beat down. That's your only choice. Let your city be overrun by these shitbags. Yeah, I have no problem with them getting violent back. I really don't.
But I don't know. You keep slipping with it. I noticed that you keep getting violent.
Where am I
back
slipping?
and then comparing it to someone being punched, and then you giving the
It
analogy
is.
of your son at school, and then you're saying, well, all of them as an identified posse. They're looking for a fight with chips on their shoulders, going and standing around. A closer analogy would be, I'm going to start swinging my fists and walk in your fucking direction, and if I hit you, it's your fault. That would be a little bit closer to what you're describing.
No, because that's you hitting first.
No. They walked in. They walked into your fist. You were just walking.
Not if you're walking forward. Not if you're.
But no, they're looking
forward.
for a fight. They're going to make it happen. Come on.
Not if you sit there and wait for them to do it. That's different. What you're talking about is actually perpetuating the violence. You starting it.
Right, because soccer hooligans, as you described them, are always such a ruly organization.
No, I said our version.
What kind of angry chip on your shoulder mob do you know of that's out in the street looking for a fight that follows precise rules of escalation of force? Name one.
How do you mean?
When they look, escalation of force, monkey.
You said precise rules. What do you mean?
When they do X, we do Y. When they do A, we do B. When they do C, we do D. Like in this precise way. That's not what happens when you got a bunch of angry people milling around with each other in the streets. I don't think that there's anything wrong with. I really like Razorfist's way of putting it. Like either the cops do something, or individual citizens should be able to. Like when Andy No got attacked, Andy No should have been able to lay out some cold justice with warm lead. The guy should have been fucking armed. And journalists, if they're going to go cover these bastards, should be armed.
Okay. So you think a better solution is for them to get shot?
But that fits a hell of a lot more closely with what you're saying in terms of some guys throwing shit at me, caustic chemicals, kicking me, and then they start shooting at them. And the guy starts shooting at the guy who did that to him. I don't see any problem with that because that's direct individual self-defense.
What were you saying there, Jack?
Those bullets won't miss and hit an innocent bystander.
Look, if somebody in Portland is getting hit by them and they pull out a gun and silence one of these motherfuckers, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, but if he misses, there's a good chance
sure.
it's some rando that's just standing there. That's why fisticuffs is probably a better solution.
I would rather we have a few beatdowns, and that would take care of the problem. You let this happen the natural way, with violence on violence, it'd be over pretty quick.
Oh, Midnight in Exile, calm the fuck down. You're making yourself angry in chat.
Everybody relax. It's okay. We're just having a conversation here. It's all right. The problem Polly seems to have is setting up a mob of people looking for a fight. I understand where he's coming from. I do. I just disagree. It is a difference of morality here.
I think it's also a difference of like a defensive group of people versus a group looking for a fight.
I think you can be a defensive group while looking for a fight.
I would say that's
really
very slippery slope.
See, like, I don't know. I can see two positions being held at the same time and not really being contradictory in holding both of them at the same time. It's going to go this way, meaning mobs banging it out in the streets because the cops are doing nothing, versus this is ideally what I want to see happen. This is not ideally what I want to see happen. I don't even think it's like the first, second. It's probably the third thing that I'd like to see happen. First, I'd like to see cops do their job. Secondarily, I'd like to see people fucking be able to be armed to be able to do something about it. Third would be something more along the lines of what you're talking about, where it's like, okay, fuck, it's gone this far. The people are not able to individually defend themselves. The cops aren't willing to fucking do anything. Then yeah, this is going to resort to mobs. But I see Antifa continuing to do what they're doing. It's going to result in what you're saying happening, regardless of what anybody wants.
And like I say, I think it is entirely possible to be like, I really like to fight. These guys are being assholes. Let's go down there and see if a fight starts. That's not the same. And you wait for it. You never throw the first punch.
I think Polly's point is that there are going to be people in that group that want to fight, and they're going to look for any excuse to throw that first punch.
Fair enough.
And it's hard to control people like that, because even if they're on your side politically, they may not be on your side with emotional stability or self-control. And they'll just look for any movement that they perceive as a direct threat to start a fight. Next thing you know, you got a riot.
And I'm not saying the Proud Boys have never started a fight, but at least the vast majority of stuff that I've seen, it's them defending themselves or defending someone else. Because they were a fraternal organization. This wasn't just, hey, let's all go down there and see if we can find a fight. There was an organization to it. When McGinnis set it up there, that's how he did it. I can see the problems you guys are talking about. I can. I'm old school, man. Sometimes people need their ass beat.
Yeah, I just wish the cops would be doing it.
Exactly. Look, I'm with you, Polly, on that part. Number one, cops do your job. If they did that, there wouldn't be a fucking problem here.
No, unfortunately, it's going to devolve into people getting shot.
Yep.
People ending up in various mobs fighting each other out. It's going to end up in riots.
And that's what I'm saying. Regardless of anything I want, if the situation continues, that's exactly what I think is going to happen. We'll keep sliding away from the thing that is my particular issue. So you got a whole bunch of people down there doing some free speech thing. What was their original protest? What were the protesters that the Antifa people showed up to, quote, counter protest? What were they protesting about?
Hold on one second. Dark Shade, thank you. Watching Rakita Law's live stream on Ron Toy's deposition is so boring. Which one of you made it sound interesting last Monkey in the Morning?
That's my fault.
Those two.
I had a hand in that too.
I was in pain and couldn't even fucking talk. So blame.
I was finding Nick Rakita more interesting than the actual deposition, but I don't know. There's some highlights to it, but I hear you. It is long, man.
Yeah, I've been following the drama a lot, so this is kind of the highlight of the lawsuit so far. And I think Toye is such a Weasley little shit that the way he was dodging questions I thought was more interesting, and Rakita's response to it. It didn't get good till like the second or third hour, in my opinion. But I can see why a lot of people would be bored with it. Sorry, man.
Real quick, it's Talik's birthday, so we're going to do that, and then I'll answer your question, Polly. Talik, congratulations on another year. And here's to many, many more. This one's for you. And a 1. And a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Shabbat, shabbat.
Happy birthday to you.
Shabbat, shabbat.
Happy birthday, dear Talik.
Shabbat, shabbat.
Happy birthday to you.
Shabbat, shabbat.
Happy birthday. I hope you have a great one. I really do. I love birthdays. I wish I had more. So, Polly, you asked what Antifa was going down there to protest, correct?
Yeah. What was the original group?
They were protesting the group that was there, just protesting in favor of free speech.
See, to me, I thought it had something to do with free speech. So it's got these free speech people down there, right? Antifa shows up. Then it's like, fuck you guys. And they start pushing people around. And then the free speech people, and you say somebody needs their ass beat. Yeah, and then their ass is beat. But you're suggesting something markedly different, which is a particular group that you're okay with, possibly driving in from other cities, fraternal organization, that their job is that they're taking on to themselves this given authority. I don't know. That strikes me as a little odd. It seems more like a Portland problem where it's like, I don't know. There's just something about it that strikes me as a little bit off. I'm wondering why more Portland people wouldn't be angry with Antifa constantly pushing them on them like this. Is there that many people that are okay with it? I don't know.
I think it's a town that supports the stuff those idiots think. James Colley, thank you. The best example of Polly/Monkey's point. When Val Kilmer winked at the OK Corral scene in Tombstone. Happy birthday, Talik. Yeah, you're kind of right. You're not wrong.
Remind me.
It's when they walk up to the OK Corral and everybody grabs for their guns. And Sam Elliott's like, no, calm. We don't want this. We don't want this. And the guy who played Sandman, I forget his name.
Anyway,
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter.
Val Kilmer is looking at him, and Val's holding the shotgun, and he just gives him a little wink, and that's when everything just goes to shit. That's when all the firing starts. It's how the guy interpreted what he was doing. Val Kilmer, Doc Holliday was obviously there because he wanted to shoot people.
Mm-hmm.
Bear, stop that. Good morning, Bear. You jackass.
Good morning, Bear.
But yeah, you're that's probably a good thing. I mean, he didn't shoot the guy. He just like gave him that little wink.
He instigated the guy to draw.
Yeah, exactly. He was there to kill somebody, and
that's what I'm saying. There's somebody in every group that has to cause a problem.
Well, that's the thing when we talk about, somebody's eventually going to pull out a gun and shoot one of these guys.
Oh, absolutely.
There are people out there. There are people out there who will go to Portland because they know this kind of thing can happen, and I want to shoot somebody.
Oh, just wait for the first time that some ex-military guy gets sick of this shit, ends up in a hotel room 300 yards away and snipes a couple of them. It's going to happen because the cops aren't doing their job, and these guys are hitting innocent people. And some normie is going to be, victimized, and their ex-military relative is going to take vigilante action. It'll happen.
And it's not what I want to happen. I don't want any of this to happen. What I want to happen is either the police to do their job or Antifa to fucking keep their shit to themselves. Do your little protest by all means, but keep your fucking hands to yourself. Stop acting like little bitches.
Well, they're used to it now. They're used to getting away with it. And that's going to escalate things dramatically. It's totally predictable that people are going to get killed.
Yeah. And when it happens, they'll be like, I can't believe this happened.
Yeah, and they'll blame everybody but Antifa because the media are on the side of Antifa. Yep. They are the righteous chosen children, and they do no wrong.
Farr sent us a picture, and it says, the real way women lay in bed.
I find that suspect.
Now, there's one more story I do want to talk about before we wrap this up. A group of protesters outside of a detention center in Aurora, Colorado, where the shooting took place. They took down the American flag.
Of course they did.
And raised a Mexican one.
Is anyone surprised? Anyone? Show of hands? Anyone? No, didn't think so.
They also raised a Blue Lives Matter flag upside down with the words "abolish ICE" on it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that either.
I hate these people.
They're un-American at the minimum.
You can't exactly, and we're not supposed to question anybody's patriotism or anything. You took down an American flag and hung a fucking Mexican one.
Go live in Mexico. That's why those people are fucking coming here, because it's a shithole.
That is disgraceful. You should be ashamed of yourself doing that shit.
They're not. It's people that hate this country.
For the record, the group that I saw, and I want to be very clear on this, was a bunch of honkies.
Of course it was. They're a bunch of self-loathers that hate themselves, and they want you to hate yourself, and they want to destroy everything this country is. And they don't understand exactly how amazing it is to live in the U.S. or in any Western country, except maybe the UK, because that's kind of sucking balls right now.
I don't understand. Even in protest, okay, if you take down the flag, I could at least understand that. Raising the Mexican flag in its place, are you out of your fucking mind? The fuck is wrong with you?
I'm telling you, man, these people hate this country and they will do anything to destroy it. They really believe that we are the scourge of the world. Remember, we are living in like Frederick Douglass times, according to some of these clowns.
True. If it's so bad, why are they wanting in?
So they can change it and enrich us with their culture and destroy the evil capitalist patriarchy or whatever.
There's a sign at this protest where they did this, where it actually, this woman's holding up a sign that says, "What have we become?" Can the irony get any thicker? You're at a protest where you fucking assholes cheered the raising of the Mexican flag on U.S. soil, and you're holding a sign saying, "What have we become?" Ah, that's the world we live in.
Yep. Not going to get any better anytime soon.
I just have. I saw that when I first saw it. I'm like, there's got to be more. There's got to be something I'm missing here, right? There's got to be more to this story. It was a joke. It was, that flag was already flying now. And you find out, no, that's what these fucking assholes did. And why? Because they're all protesting because Trump is going to send out ICE agents to do their fucking job. I don't even know what to say on some of this shit.
I don't know, man. It's not getting any better. It's going to get a lot worse because these people are fucking crazy. Oh man, I'm just handing out the black pills today. Sorry.
No, yeah, I just don't get it. I don't.
The people I feel bad for are the people that did all the paperwork to get here.
Yeah.
And spent all that money because I know how expensive it is to file for citizenship and visas and all that. And it is not cheap. And it's a mountain of hoops. And these people are just coming in and shitting all over that. And then you've got these lunatics that hate the country they were born in and are sad because they're white or whatever. And they hate this country for it. And they want to destroy it and let all these freeloaders in. It's detestable. And people are going to get sick of it.
I'm already sick of it. Man, that is disgusting. That is fucking disgusting. Taking down the American raising a fucking Mexican flag. Fuck you. Fuck all of you right in the ass. I hope you fall down and a Lego slips right up your ass. A big one, like a Duplo block. Just fuck you.
I have a Lego man stuck in my anus.
Oh man, that pissed me off when I saw that. It so pissed me off. I miss the days of shooting traitors.
Well,
I don't understand when you're not going to do things like that unless you think that there's a certain permissible environment for it. You know what I mean? Carry on in a particular way like that.
Yeah.
One of the big signs as far as things have gone as Civil War is when the Virginia Military Institute students, when Virginia declared to have seceded from the Union, rushed the center quad yard and took down the American flag.
Yeah.
And put up, the Virginia flag. I believe, I forget what flag they put up in its place, but the point is they take down the stars and bars. And it's like,
Stars and stripes. Stars and bars is a Confederate battle flag.
They very well might have put that one up. I do not remember what the hell they put up in its place, if anything, or if they just took it down. But my point being is that, like, it's such a fucking huge act that it's still talked about. And it's like, how is this not a fucking huge thing? How is that not, like, I mean, okay, it's a huge thing because we're talking about it in news stories, but it's like, you don't see politicians going, whoa, okay, well, we're done with this because it's, a bridge too far. When you have protesters chanting, no blah, no USA at all. And it's like, why isn't every politician from every party going, whoa, nope, done with you?
Because a lot of the politicians hate this country too.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to imagine that'd be the case then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's mind-blowing to me.
To me too, man. I'm with you.
It's disturbing on so many levels.
And like I said, it doesn't seem like you're going to do something like that unless you think that you're in a permissible environment where at least some of the people in power are going to go along with that. And it's like, holy fuck, they are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they were going along with a lot of the acts of the Confederacy before it was the Confederacy, the little mini skirmishes and things like that. That's how we ended up with the war between the states. And sorry, if this kind of crap keeps up, we're going to end up doing that again.
Polly, I think if people like AOC and Talik Rashid, whatever the fuck the squad, and all of the people like Garcia the other day, who was bitching at the ICE guy, all of these people who've been on the we got to treat the illegals better. Elizabeth Warren just had a thing about that. If they all came out and went, look, no, we do not raise the Mexican flag, I would be like, oh, cool. You know what? It's just a group of retards. Instead, silence, man. And at least some of them heard about this. This is a big fucking story. It's all over the place because are you fucking kidding me? And they're silent on it. Nothing.
But I've seen this story break down along like lines. Like I've seen people report on it and they're like, this sign of resistance to Trump. Like I've heard it described that way, that this is a sign of eradicating detention centers that are really no more than concentration camps, like that kind of description of it. And it's like, that was not a protest at ICE headquarters or a protest in front of the White House or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, try that at the White House. You get shot, bitch.
It's like you're pulling down the representative flag and putting something. Oh, no. You're on some other shit now. And I don't understand why support doesn't fall away in that environment. And the only reason I could think is because it's a permissive environment to insanity like that. The fuck are you doing?
It's permissive, and they believe that the American flag is a symbol of hate. And we've been seeing them push that narrative for weeks now, especially with that stupid shoe controversy.
Oh, yeah.
This sort of thing is going to keep up. They're going to say that the flag is a symbol of hate, and they're going to try and change it. I'd put money on it because it started with the Confederate statues, and now we see them try to take down the Jefferson statue. Everything that this country is represented by is now a symbol of hate. And I mean, look at the Facebook terms. When they changed that, symbols of hate were mentioned. And you're going to see a lot more of this shit. It's like an insidious infection. It slowly spreads throughout the body. And these nutcases, they hate this country. I'm firmly convinced of that. And they will do anything to destroy it.
Thank you, Michael, who says, will the Democrats secede once again? Likely? No, because you don't have the strongholds. And I don't think you'd get enough of the enough states. I mean, even if you were looking at the entire West Coast, which is pretty liberal, I don't think you could get the three, Oregon, Washington, and California to go, yeah, we're going to be our own country. For several reasons. One, our government won't let that happen.
Oh yeah,
and
sorry, Mo.
Go ahead. I don't think you have the citizens that are going to push for that either. I don't think most people are this fucking retarded.
No, they're not. They're not. Which, I mean, you hear me beat that fucking drum of the news entertainers yet again, and this is what I was thinking about with the Proud Boys thing. Like, I kind of like thought it through as like a practicalist matter, and when, like, you know, you had the Don Lemons and the fucking Brian Stelzers sitting there arguing for a moral inequivalency between these various groups, saying like Antifa, see, they are fighting the Nazis, they're the good guys.
Yeah,
I mean, like, when something like that happens, if it's not especially organized under any banner name, oh my god, those pinko bastards will be the first ones in fucking line to defend it. I don't want to see the way that goes. It's like, so Anthony Vogel says permissive environment, but somehow we live in a fascist country. Yeah, exactly. I get your sarcasm. Like, this is not what this country stands for. This is not what we've ever done. Say the politicians who are permissive of this shit, right? This is not the America. This is not what this country stands for. Wait a minute. You're permissive of the fucking people and agree with the people that talk about this country was founded in nothing but oppression and slavery. So what do you mean?
Right.
You can't have it both fucking ways. Either you agree with the ideals of individual liberty that the country stands for, sometimes absolutely not having lived up to those things, always looking to expand them to everybody. Okay. Or it actually is this bad, in which case let it be known and ain't no one going to elect you except for a bunch of disgusting pinkos, and then we'll know where everybody stands.
Indeed. Yeah.
I don't have faith that people will step up and do the right thing and try and stop this shit, though. They'll sit back and be lazy and do nothing and complain like they usually do. So I think it's going to get a lot worse.
I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. I hear you, Jack. I would rather things get better sooner, but I am happy to see that the Democrats are doing what they're doing, that the progressive liberal aspect, the progressive liberal caucus in the Democratic Party is pulling the entire DNC by the nose. They're moving more towards the left, like everyone says. Yeah, they are. Look at their rhetoric. I mean, I love Joe Biden even raised his hand when asked which one of you would extend health care to illegal aliens. Even Joe fucking Biden. Remember I
told you, man, they're going to rush to the left.
Remember the uproarious garbage that happened over Barack Obama's talking, and this healthcare under the Affordable Care Act will not be extended to illegals. One guy yells out, "You lie!"
Yeah,
Joe Wilson. Yeah,
Joe Wilson. I still think he was crazy out of line for yelling at the president like that in the middle of a speech. Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? With that said, yeah, the anger that brought it on though seems to be pretty fucking prophetic. No.
He was spot on. It was a lie. It was a fucking lie.
Yeah.
And you're right.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that shouldn't be said by one guy in a spurt of anger in Congress, but should be brought up on the fucking floor of like, no, we do believe and we roundly condemn this. And here's a bill of condemnation we're putting forward to this ever being used against for illegal aliens. People who aren't citizens of the country snuck in. And the citizens who are here should be paying for their health care to an extended degree. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. He was wildly out of line for doing that, but he wasn't wrong. Is the big problem with it. And man, now I'm depressed.
Yeah. Thanks, Jack.
You're welcome.
It was me. I brought up that stupid ass story.
No, it was just
like to open the big bottle of black pills and share.
It was just the way that Jack put it. It's like, you're wrong. No, you're not wrong. God damn it! Like,
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he's not. And you know what? This is the shit. And I see it's one of the things. Sofane was arguing with somebody about. Oh no, it was real. Hi, I think I'm real. Is talking about the grifters. He stopped following all of the grifters in the IDW, the internet. Yeah, what is it? Intellectual dark web.
Mm-hmm.
And a whole bunch of people jumped on that bag. They're pushing conspiracies that the left wants to remake the country and that Marxist and fascist ways. I'm like, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. That's what's happening. What the fuck country are you living? What are you watching?
Well, probably CNN, but no, I mean if I were a Marxist, I would foment an underclass or middle class kids to create unrest. And then when there's a response because the cops aren't doing their job and you end up with two groups fighting in the street, I would use that as an excuse because you never waste an emergency to get rid of posse comitatus and start putting military vehicles and equipment on the streets to regain control. And then you have a dictatorship.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do if I were like a scheming Marxist. And then I could institute my communist policies that will make no one happy, but I'm not. And that would be incredibly black-pilled to think like that. And it may even be considered a conspiracy theory. So I'm glad I don't believe that because I don't want to get sad.
Yes, because you're happy.
I am a very happy individual who has no intention of hurting himself.
I'm tired of hearing that it's a conspiracy theory because it's literally what they're talking about doing. Every one of those fuckers on the stage the second night, every goddamn one of them gave communist answers. We're just going to take care of everybody, and we'll just take money from the rich to take care of it, and we'll give everybody free everything.
Yeah, but the key word there is take. In order to give something to somebody in this scenario, you have to take it from someone else because that money's got to come from somewhere. And you're going to make everyone poor. Has no one been paying attention to the last 80 years of communism? It has never worked. Socialism fails every time. Marx was a fucking utopian idealist who never got it right. I'm sorry, it's not going to work. Boo-hoo, cry me a fucking river with the anarcho-communists.
But they've started here. I don't know if you guys saw that video. They've started with they're pushing the class warfare really hard. They've tried doing this through the race angle and through sex angle, and they've realized those aren't working. So they're going old school. They're going to class warfare. And that's how communism rises, man. But guys, I want to wrap this up. We've depressed me. God damn it. Chat. Guys, thank you for coming and hanging out with us, listening to us for the last almost 3 hours. 3 hours, I think, is that what we're at now. Talking to you guys, time just flies, man.
Yeah, well, I'm a good complainer, so.
You're good company is what I'm saying.
I try. Molly's been the one talking for the last hour. He's been moving the conversation on.
He's been a little fired up.
Yeah. Angry Polly rants are the best.
I said it before, like, I mean, can we have another Red Scare? About a decade-long one?
That would be nice.
Wouldn't it?
Amazing.
Chat, seriously, thanks for coming and hanging out. Love you guys. Thank you so much for the donations. That's ramen money. We got to go shopping today. I should probably get some sleep. What was I saying? Thank you so much for the donations. I really appreciate it. Sorry, guys. I am getting really tired and dizzy. I think I took my medicine too early earlier. Polly, Jack, thank you guys for coming. Polly, is there anything you'd like to shill today?
Stargazer just put up my channel link.
Thank you, Nuts. We love you.
Yeah, I just thanked her in chat. She's so awesome for doing that. Yeah, you know the deal. Comic book curation happens over there where we talk about everything related to comics and pop culture and all that fun stuff. Jack Inquisitor and myself. Check it out.
All righty. And Jack, anything you'd like to show?
I want to thank Stargazer for shilling us. And as always, thank you, Evolved Potato, for the donation. Really helps. And my links are in the description. And there's my book links. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, guys, if you're listening to this when we're not live, all of the links for me, Polly, and Jack are down below. So make sure you check out the channels, and you can still support when we're not there. I sell T-shirts. They're down there. I have a Patreon. I have Streamlabs. There's all kinds of ways you can make your money my money, and I appreciate every bit of it that you do. Tonight there is no Lords of the Night, but we will be gaming on 2 Cents Plus at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. This is our long stream. We usually go about 4 hours. I know we have a Horde night, so come check it out. Ranting Monkey Games. Check out that channel. It is linked below. I played yesterday. It's been a week, and it was awesome. I had a lot of fun, and people seem to like it. You should watch it. It's funny. John says, "You're the man, ranting monkey. Thank you for the debate we had in chat. Hoping you get a decent night's sleep." Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you guys for watching. Seriously, I love you guys. You complete me. Polly, Jack, thank you so much. Everybody, have a wonderful Sunday, and we will see you next time.
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye, everyone. The world's ending.